or triplet, it looked like. So this next group that should be out are the restricted micros. And this should be the last hot lap session of the night. We've got 11 of them that make up the restricted micro class tonight. Track crew is going to work on getting that 101 of Tobias Midkiff off the racetrack. Yeah, it looks like they're going to bring an additional push truck onto the racetrack as well, just in case it's needed while these other push vehicles are back at the pit area. Hopefully it looks like we may have gotten our brief technical issue on WFO TV figured out. I can see our YouTube streams up. So hello to our friends on WFO TV and on YouTube. Track crew still working on getting this 2 cars with mechanical issues off the racetrack. Shouldn't be too much longer, as they've got them both pushed at a relatively equal speed to each other. Of course, just this one final class to go for the restricted micros. Likely going to have 2 groups here. There's 11 of them. I think some of them already went. I'm pretty sure Riley Bonowitz was already on track. I think she got confused with one of the other Wayne cars and they sent her out a little early. I think someone else was as well. Might have been Dalton Clary. I think everybody else is going to be on the racetrack for the restricted micro hot laps. While we're waiting on him, I can see the 71 of Jagger Wiggs down there from Benton, Illinois. He's the first car in staging. I can see him. While we're also waiting, go ahead and thank some of our sponsors that have joined on to the racing year in 2025. The brand new Dirty Right Rear podcast. Our track owner, Brian Rick, has been on there twice already. He was on there again this weekend, or this last week, I should say. Another good episode from them. Kimstream Race Fuels, RS12 Motorsports are some of the others. Spartan Transportation, High Caliber Graphics, RaceRanchWear.com. Of course, this is the home track of WFO TV and the WFO series. Victory Seats, also one of the sponsors. Strong Elevator, Strong Bookkeeping, Napa of the local Napas, I should say, of Neoga, Mattoon, and Effingham, Duncan Windows, Race Tech, Titanium. Of course, you see the giant KKM sign up there as well. Hyper Racing Midwest, Burromax, Cleveland Grain Systems, Casey Summers. You have Plus Global Logistics, Performance Plus Global Logistics, Express Employment, and Driven Midwest, the brand new sponsors for here on the racetrack this year. A couple new faces and quite a few returning faces from last year, but on the racetrack now, you see him. It's the restricted micros. Like I said, Jagger Wiggs, the lead car. He'll lead him down to turn 1. Right behind him, the 10M, one of the mini cars, B. McKenzie, out of Terre Haute. Behind them as the green flag waves, I see one car that's wiggling all over the racetrack, trying to get the car to sit down. It's Ezra Green, struggling to get that car up to pace. That car very unhappy, that number 57G machine. Keep an eye on that car as he heads around the racetrack as traffic catches up to him. Also out there, the 10 of JC Standridge from Springfield, Illinois. She's a new face to the racetrack. And there, in fact, is the 22D of Dalton Clary. That is a beautiful race car this year. Kind of reminds me of the old Dave Blaney cars. Riley Bonowitz sideways up in turn 2. Man, that car looks good. Kind of definitely reminds me of those old kind of 1990s Menards Indy cars. Definitely looks a lot like them. And that thing is beautiful as it comes off turn number 4. Great work by whoever came up with that design. Definitely eye-catching as they take the white flag. Let's see who's the fastest car on the racetrack here in session number 1, if I can find my mouse. It's Dalton Clary. Like I mentioned it, that car fast. And it's beautiful and it's fast at a 10.6 fastest lap so far. Jagger Wiggs 3/10 slower at a 10.9. Ezra Green 3rd. That car was wiggly the first couple laps. Evidently it sat down and he was able to reel that car into control. He finds himself 3rd on the timing charts. Ginty Dowler, a shocking least slower lap time. I was going to say, I don't even see her car out here. Yet it got scored. So I don't know which car hers would have been, because I can see her car parked down there in the staging area. No, her car's in the staging area. I can see the 11R of Riley Bonowitz just came off the racetrack. Yeah, I'm not sure how Mackenzie Dowler got scored, because she's just now coming out of the racetrack. There we go. It's fixed. Good work by race control over there. They probably can't hear me. But I'll send thank you. We got it all fixed. We got it. We're getting it worked out. First race of the year. That's our excuse. First race of the year. Always have problems. But anyway, there's Mackenzie Dowler headed off into 1 from Springfield, Illinois, the Pepsi machine. Pure Midwest number 5, also out there on the racetrack, Caden Wells from Brazil, Indiana. Was in an orange car last year, now in a black, yellow, and white car. Behind him, the 14 of Niles Tudor. He finds himself in a new, similar paint scheme to last year, a little different. Also out there, the 67, JR R.J. Smith, Springfield, Illinois, and Emerson Kinzer, the last one out there. Kistner, excuse me. Caden Wells, the second, already here in this session. See who else can find some lap time, can find some speed. Niles Tudor up there as well. Caden Wells, quick time. Finally knocks off Dalton Cleary. Anybody else can knock on the door of that top 3. Mackenzie Dowler's knocking on it. We'll see if she can get it here on the last lap. Checkered's waving. No, she can't. Close, but does not get it. Quick time for the restricted micros goes to Caden Wells, Dalton Clary P2, Niles Tudor P3. So I believe that will do it for the hot lap sessions, unless we get an extra car somewhere along the way that we didn't catch before.
I'm not seeing anything lined up down there.
Yes, we may do just a little bit of prep, maybe, before we get out there. The track looks great, though. So we might head to Anthem and opening invocations here at the racetrack tonight.
And race fans, something new this year for 2025 at Coles County Speedway is the Turn 4 Fan Club. This is free for ages 12 and under. Every weekend, our Turn 4 Fan Club kid gets a punch on their card and they get a free popcorn or popsicle. Kids can get entered to present trophies on the track. Upcoming events that we have planned at the moment is on April 19th, we will have an Easter egg scramble. On May 17th, there'll be a Meet Your Favorite Driver autograph session. We'll be able to talk, meet their drivers, and get a close-up of their cars. On June 7th, we'll have a bicycle race on the track. On June 21st, we will have a Power Wheels race. On August 9th, they will do a pit walk and driver meet and greet. On September 20th, the Turn 4 Fan Club Appreciation, we'll have a bicycle giveaway. And on October 18th, at our Halloween Clash, Trunk or Treat, and Costume Contest. Again, that's the Turn 4 Fan Club for ages 12 and under, and it's absolutely free here at Coles County Speedway.
Yeah, if you want to sign on up, head over to the pit entry shed down on the outside of Turn 4 behind the concession stand. You can sign your kid up, and you can join us at those events later on this year. Well, we're going to do a little bit of track prep, and with that, I think we're going to head to a short break. I promise it'll be short. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here.
All right, folks, while the track prep's underway, we would now ask you to please stand if you are able to for our national anthem.
Oh, say, and you see by the dawn's early light, oh, so proudly we hailed at the twilight's gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we walked were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular amongst birds singing out, gay through the night, and our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, and thank you to all the veterans out there who have served and sacrificed to help keep this great country of ours free. Thank you.
Attention in the pits, attention in the pits. Non-wing heat 1 to staging, and non-wing micros heat 1 to staging. Well, we've got word from Race Control. We are going to be headed for racing at 7:49. Cars will be on track at 7:49. That's in less than 2 minutes that we're going to have cars on racetrack. It sounds like we were waiting on one car. Looks like we may not get said car, but we're trying. We're giving as much time as we can.
And your starting lineup for the Cleveland Grain Non-Wing Micro is as follows. Starting first from Phoenix, Arizona, number 1, Drew Sherman. Starting second from Charleston, Illinois, number 2X, Seth Buell. Starting third from St. Joseph, Illinois, number 47, Clay Frederick. Starting fourth from Mount Zion, Illinois, number 18, Michael Brummett. Starting fifth from Brazil, Indiana, number 56N, Nate McMillan. Starting sixth from Jasper, Indiana, number 87, Reed Whitney. And starting seventh from Ashmore, Illinois, number 4R, Cameron Romack. That is your Cleveland Grain Non-Wing Micro starting lineup for heat race number 1.
Our flagman's waiting on him. He's ready and ready with the 1 to go signal. They're going to get it right away. Look at them. They're already lined up. They're ready to race. They're ready to go. I'm ready to go. Let's get race season underway here at Coles County.
Opening night 2025 at Coles County Speedway.
Here we go. Off turn 2. Caution lights are out. 8 laps here in heat race number 1 for the Cleveland Grain System Non-Wing Micros. Drew Sherman, Seth Buell, the front row, off into turn 3 and 4. The start cone right there is located in 4. Green flags in the air. We're racing in 2025. 2 wide already throughout the field as they work their way up through turns 1 and 2. One car with an issue at the back half of the field, headed off into turn 4. But right away, Seth Buell already lost his second place position. He'll drop to second. Michael Brummett, hard charger, up to second already. That number 5 machine, that'd be Caden Wells, I believe. For whatever reason, again, not on our scoring monitors, or it's a different driver, one of the two. Well, now he's showing us Reed Whitney. So I guess it's Reed Whitney in that number 5 machine tonight. But either way, we've got a good amount of racing action. Seth Buell, hard defension down there into turns 1 and 2. A little bit of contact as they hit the berm. So they're going to settle back in. Clay Frederick trying to work away around that 2X machine of Seth Buell. Off into turns 1 and 2 again. He's going to try high, dives low, gets on the rear bumper, stacks him up behind him. Everybody settles it out, still single file. Drew Sherman out in front, Michael Brummett second, pulling away. Seth Buell behind them. Lap times of the 10.5 range for race leader Drew Sherman. The rest of the field out inside the 10.7 or 11-second range. 2 to go for Drew Sherman. Frederick's not going to have much more time. Still trying that outside. Crossover move off turn 2. He gets a wheel inside. Goes alongside into 3. White flags waving. Little bit of elbows out. Contact. And Clay Frederick goes by up to third. Off turn 4 they come. Here comes Drew Sherman picking up the first heat race win of 2025 in the Cleveland Grain Non-Wing Micros heat race number 1. Second place will go to Michael Brummett. Rest of the field coming in tow behind them, single file. Clay Frederick will find his third place position. Seth Buell fourth, Nate McMillan fifth, Cameron Romack sixth, and then Reed Whitney in the 5 on my race pass showing as the 87 machine has parked it down in the infield after the completion of 1 lap.
And as the cars are crossing the scales, we will give you the starting lineup for your Cleveland Grain Non-Wing Micro Heat Race number 2. Starting first from Dardine Prairie, Missouri, number 11R, Harrison Robarbs. Starting second from Charleston, Illinois, number 211, Daniel Hayes. Starting third from DeSoto, Missouri, number 10J, J.R. Henson. Starting fourth from Lomi, Illinois, number 7D, Zach Dowler. Starting fifth from Greenfield, Indiana, number 51B, Parker Bupp. Starting sixth from Hammond, Illinois, number 7F, Nolan Bartley. And starting 7th, from Waupun, Wisconsin, number 26P, Jackson Peters. This is your Cleveland Grain non-wing micro heat race number 2.
That lineup out of the way, it looks like they got the parked car off the racetrack. Be Reed Whitney's machine. He is off the racetrack. John Shipman trying to wave him on for heat race number 2. 1 to go signal waiting for them at the flag stand whenever they get set. I don't think we're going this time. They don't look organized. So we've got 5 of them so far. 1 to go signal has been revoked. Looks like they will have to go around at least once. This field, very slow pace speed. See what they can do. Maybe they'll reissue the 1 to go. See if that caution light goes out. It doesn't look like our flagman John Shipman's willing to do that. Yeah, I'm right. Race control says yellow light out. We're going racing here in heat race number 2. Harrison Robards, Daniel Hayes, the front row. There's a late call on that yellow light going out, but we're going racing here in heat race number 2. They're green. They're down to turn 1. They're already banging bumpers as they head off into turn 1. Side by side, 2, 3 wide as they come off turn number 2. 1 car dropping further back. That's Nolan Bartley gets almost bicycles up the racetrack, up on 2 wheels, just his back tires only. No harm, no foul, except he'll lose a couple spots. Maybe some damage for that number 7F machine. He'll drop into almost last place. Backs all the way up to Zach Galler. He falls to 6th. The car he made contact with, Daniel Hayes, holds on to his 2nd spot for now. 6 to go, coming to 5 to go this time. That 11H Harrison Robards, a little bit tight off turn 4. You saw it that time. But see what he can do as he rolls back off of turn 2. The car looks a little better that time. It's right behind him. Daniel Hayes in trouble. Parker Butt right behind him. Parker Butt knocking on the door for a top 2 finish here in heat race number 2. 4 to go. Just halfway down here in the second heat race. Everybody's pretty well organized. Nolan Bartley pulled off after 3 laps, by the way. He's in the infield. And now that outside groove, see what's going to happen here with that 51B of Parker Bupp. He's going to back up the entry to turns 3 and 4. Couldn't quite get the car stable enough to cut down to the inside off turn 4. They'll back it up, try it again. Coming to the white flag this time is Harrison Robards as he rolls off turn number 4. Still single file out behind him as they roll back into turns 1 and 2. And it looks like this might be all she wrote for the field. They're going to finish in this order. Checkered flags waving. Harrison Robards up on the berm once again. No harm, no foul. Didn't pass anybody. Harrison Robards takes the 2nd Cleveland Grain non-wing micro heat race win. Daniel Hayes 2nd. Parker Bupp 3rd. J.R. Hinson 4th. Jackson Peters 5th. Zach Dowler 6th. And Nolan Bartley parked it after 3 laps. So that will do it for that class for tonight, the Cleveland Grade System non-wing micros. They're going to head up over the scales. Coming up next, the junior sprints, the high caliber graphics junior sprints. Got 2 heat races for them. Kevin will give you the starting lineup in a second.
All righty, and here's your starting lineup for your high caliber graphics junior sprints. Starting first, from Waupun, Wisconsin, number 27P, Roland Peters. Starting second, from Alton, Illinois, number 1P, Paxton Belchick. Starting third, from Desloge, Missouri, number 25P, Presley Hall. Starting fourth, from Oakland, Illinois, number D52, Joe Bonowitz. Starting fifth, from Terre Haute, Indiana, number 10M, Madison Meany. And starting sixth, from Muhammad, Illinois, number 57, Nolan Leone. This is your high caliber graphics junior sprint heat race number 1 of 2.
Well, we'll send them shortly. Nolan Bartley's car still hanging out there in the infield. We'll see if they'll let him race Nolan Bartley, at least disabled car down there in the infield for now. They're going to choose maybe a different wrecker this time. Yeah, it looks like they're going to put it up on the hook. They were going to push it. It's going up on the hook instead. So with this, the junior sprints will come out onto the racetrack for heat race number 1 of the high caliber graphics. They're going to try to get organized. We're going to try to see if we can get them green right away. Caution lights are out on the Speedway. So they will try to get organized here on the backstretch. That outside row, a little bit of separation, but instead it's going to be Roland Peters, Paxton Belchick on the front row. They're side by side through the restart cone. Green flags waving. Belchick with a good jump off the start. He will have the lead by the time they make it to turn 1. Out behind him, single file for the first 3. Then out behind him, the 52 Joe Bonowitz having a little bit of trouble with the 10 of Madison Meany to the inside for the 4th spot. Can't quite get the nose in there. Trouble for the 25. It gets loose up at the top of the racetrack. They're going to squeeze 3 wide down into turn 3. Joe Bonowitz wisely backs out of it, and that'll put Meany up to 3rd for now. Presley Hall had some sort of issue off into turns 1 and 2. The car got tight, and he will drop back into 4th. As the rest of the field comes back through the timeline, Paxton Belchick still the fastest car out on the racetrack by a good margin. Madison Meany now at least being scored in second. Not sure what's going on there, but that's definitely not the case because Roland Peters is definitely the car in second. Some sort of issue with the scoring. That'll put Madison Meany in 3rd, Presley Hall 4th, Joe Bonowitz 5th, Nolan Leone back in 6th. Leone starting to bang on the back bumper of Joe Bonowitz's car. Back there for 5th. The rest of the field pretty separated out. 2 to go this time for the leader, Paxton Belchick, as he heads off back into turns 1 and 2. Now that 25, maybe some sort of mechanical issue under the car is getting backed up to the cars behind him. White flags waving for Belchick, though, this time as he heads back into turn 1 for the final time with a wide margin out back behind him. 6-second advantage as he rolls into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Paxton Belchick takes the checker flag here in the High Caliber Graphics Junior Sprint Heat Race number 1. Second place will go to Roland Peters. Third will go to Madison Meany. 4th, Presley Hall. 5th, Joe Bonowitz. 6th, Nolan Leone as they come across the timing line. And of course, for the folks on My Race Pass, you may see this later and see Roland Peters in last. That is not the correct scoring position. Evidently some issue with the transponder. Without a doubt, though, did finish second on speed, and that's what I believe our scoring tower should be placing him once they get the official results out. Yeah, he'll head for the, she'll head for the scoring line, or to the scales. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
And with that, we'll now give you the starting lineup for your second heat race in the High Caliber Graphics Junior Sprints. Starting first from Buffalo, Illinois, number 14V, Colton Vogel. Starting second from Levington, Illinois, number 22, Evan France. Starting third from Park Hills, Missouri, number 6, Cruz Parson. Starting fourth from Springfield, Illinois, number 11S, R.J. Smith. And starting fifth from Festus, Missouri, number 1Z, Xander LaRose. That is your High Caliber Graphics Junior Sprint Heat Race number 2 starting lineup.
Caution lights are out on the Speedway for hopefully the last time for these High Caliber Graphic Junior Sprints in the heat racing. Hopefully we get a pretty clean race here as they head off into the start cone up at turns 3 and 4. Green flags waving as that 22 did not get a good jump at all. Allows Cruz Parsons up to second right away. Sideways is the 22. Big save there from Evan France. Just able to hold on to that car as that was just a little bit too loose up on the start in turns 1 and 2. Now, as we mentioned it, Cruz Parsons has been quick all year long. Well, first race at Coles County, but he's been fast all year long. He's won a number of major events already so far in this junior sprint car down south. And we'll see if he can do that again tonight. So far, pace is not there. Dalton Clary has one car to his inside. Xander LaRose backs out of it. Excuse me, that'd be Evan France. Dalton Clary's in the identical-looking car, just a little bit bigger. Later on, you'll see later on tonight. Xander LaRose will clear for the 4th spot off turn 4 as they come to 4 to go this time for the race leader, Colton Vogel. As it was rumored, by the way, I'm not sure if this actually did happen, that Cruz Parsons allegedly has a bounty on him here. See if anybody can beat that number 6 machine. It was a $50 bounty. If apparently if he could not win tonight, it would roll over. And so far, Colton Vogel looks like he wants to collect that extra $50. He's found the pace here in the heat race. Did not have it in the hot laps, but that pace definitely underneath that number 14 V machine, running lap times in the 11-second range as he comes to the white flag. Xander LaRose underneath RJ Smith for the third spot takes it away off turn 4. Checkered flag will be waving, though, for the number 14 Via Cotenvogel as he comes off turn number 4. He'll easily take the High Caliber Graphic Junior Sprint Heat Race number 2 win. Second will go to Cruz Parson. Xander LaRose able to take away third with 2 laps to go. RJ Smith fourth, and Evan France will finish in 5th. So with that, the micro racing done for now. We're going to hand the microphone back over to Bill for the Mara Midgets, and we'll be back up here in the normal tower right after that.
All right. Thank you, Casey, for that introduction. I am Bill Bloomer, and we are back for the heat races for the Mara Midgets. We'll start out with Fusion Engineering heat number 1 for the Mara Midgets. They'll be rolling out here shortly. If my lineup is correct, here's who we should be looking at in order. Starting on the pole, number 97 out of Jasper, Indiana, Nolan Kiefer. Outside of the first row, number 11, K, Mark Mayhill from Peoria, Illinois. Starting inside, row 2, Greg Ross from Havana, Illinois. Outside of him is Alex Midkiff from Belleville, Illinois. Starting out in the third row, Parker Jones from Blue Mounds, Wisconsin. Outside of him, Tyler Roth from Springfield, Illinois. And starting last on the field, Jimmy Giddery. Jimmy is out there, as I mentioned in the hot lap session / qualifying. He did tag that turn 2 wall, but seemed no worse for wear. It looked like a pretty hard hit from here, but we'll see what he does, if he'll have any issues coming into this heat race. With the Badger Midgets, Mara Midgets, the heat races do matter. Top 5 gain points toward the season-ending championship, and the top 5 are automatically tonight into the first 5 rows of the A main. If you start outside or finish outside the top 5 in your heat races, you're going to be in the latter half of the field when you take the green for the feature. Our heat races tonight will be 8 laps in length, leading up to our 25-lap feature later on this evening. Looking at who we have in this race, again, there goes Parker Jones down the front stretch. Followed right behind him is Jimmy Giddery. The orange 05. Going past now, Alex Midkiff, and the number 18 to Tyler Ross. The 11K of Mark McMahill just fired. He's on the back stretch now. That white and red and black car with the white numbers. And that pretty blue and yellow car passing us by the front stretch, that'll be pole sitter Nolan Kiefer. Control towers currently encouraging the drivers to line up in their proper order. And once again, we're going to see Kiefer, McMahill, Ross, Midkiff, Jones, Roth, and Giddery starting shotgun on the field. They'll be coming around for the 1 lap to go signal here momentarily. One to go. Talking to the drivers after qualifying, they were all very complimentary of the track, said it's really tacky, not slimy. Should be open for a good night of racing here with the Mara Midget Series. The lights are off. Cars are on the backstretch. Nolan Kiefer has the point. Kiefer drops back. McMahill takes the lead into turn 4 and leads the first lap. Snapping and popping a little bit. Midkiff trying to get inside of Kiefer for second place. McMahill still hitting the chip, it sounds like. But he has a sizable lead, and we have a great 3-car race between Kiefer and looks like Roth is getting in there. Parker Jones still on the outside looking in. You got to be in the top 5 to make that transfer, and there Jones got it for now. It looks like that's kind of the race, and the number 99R of Greg Ross got a little high, and the engine expired, and I'm pretty sure there was no contact there, and he'll probably be pushed off and ready to go shortly. Halfway through this Fusion Engineering Heat 1. Amy Schultz is in the tower for Badger and letting the drivers know where they're lined up. The beauty of receivers these days, it should be a quick duty, and we'll be ready to go momentarily here. Looks like it should be McMahill, Midkiff, Roth, Kiefer, and Ross. Nope, take that back. Ross got the yellow, so Parker Jones will be in that 5th spot. Ross will tag the end of the field. McMahill brings him into the corner. McMahill takes the lead again. Midkiff is on his tail. Parker Jones in 4th now. Midkiff looking inside McMahill. Nothing there. It is tight racing with Roth trying to sneak in there for the 2nd spot, and he has it for now. Parker Jones in 4th, and the battle now is for that 5th and last, we'll call it a transfer spot. Actually 2 good battles here. We're still not giving up on 1st place either. Nope. And a yellow flag as Midkiff comes to a slow on the backstretch. Like I said before, there are points involved with these races, and if you're going to race the whole season, you never know when 1 point might make the difference, and oh my. I totally missed. We've got 2 cars spun in turn 2. I'm sorry to tell you, I have no idea what happened there. We've got the 99 of Greg Ross, ROSS, and Jimmy Guidry, the 21G. Oh, and I've got the courtesy of a replay. And it looks, as best I can tell, like Ross probably just lost it a little bit, and Guidry had nowhere to go. Hopefully neither car is injured too much, and they can restart. There is a 2-spin rule here, so we'll see if the 99 is out for this race. And the Belleville, Illinois driver, Alex Midkiff, the 05, he is stopped on the infield, and I think his heat race is done. Let's hope team can get that car back together, and I'm guessing it was some sort of engine issue. When we resume racing, we'll have 2 to go with Mark McMahill on the point, Tyler Roth in second, Parker Jones in third, and Nolan Kiefer in fourth, with Jimmy Guidry taking up the 5th spot. The Mirror Series does want to thank Fusion Engineering for sponsoring this first heat race. And the 99 will head back to the pits, whether it was a mechanical issue or the 2-spin rule. He is out for this race. So here we go. Everyone's running for points. 1 lap from the chief starter is the signal. Mark McMahill leads the line down the backstretch. McMahill's on the gas, as is everyone else. He's crackling, popping again. Roth gets the best of Jones going out of 2. Now Roth is going to look inside for the lead. He just can't quite do it that lap. He's going to give it a try again. Not again. Mark McMahill sitting strong in that front position, and he'll take the checkers. Tyler Roth is second, Parker Jones third. Our pole sitter Nolan Kiefer is fourth, and Jimmy Guidry rounds out the top 5. Mark McMahill stopping in the infield to get his picture taken as per the request of the track. Happy to show a heat win for his efforts tonight. We will have to get him pushed back up, though. We'll be waiting on Horizon Carpentry Incorporated heat number 2 will be pushing off here real soon. Coming in front of us right now, that's the Joker, Jay Sparks in the number 40. We got former champion, last year's runner-up in Mara action, Dalton England in the 19. The number 7B coming in front of us there, Cody Beard. The 48 of Logan Manson out of DeSoto, Missouri. And the youngster, the number 12C in that black car, Dominic Bruns out of Champaign, Illinois, the freshman in high school. And then sitting there just coming out of turn 4, you got Brian Peterson in that beautiful green number 7, the Phantom chassis car with a Mark Ray Honda. Next to him is the number 11J, Todd Jackson out of Kansas City, Missouri. He may win the prize for the longest tow tonight. fans are reminded that tomorrow night the Mara Midgets will be back in action at Lincoln Speedway. We expect probably a few more cars tomorrow night even. We had a healthy car count tonight, and we're looking forward to another good night of racing tomorrow. And the official lineup should look like this in the inside. From Champaign, Illinois, number 12C, Dominic Bruns. On his outside, hailing from DeSoto, Missouri, Logan Manson in the 48M. Starting out the second row inside, from McGuanago, Wisconsin, the retired firefighter, Brian Peterson. Next to him, hailing from St. Anthony, Indiana, Cody Beard. Starting out the third row, our former champion, Dalton England from Springfield, Illinois in the 19E. Next to him, the Joker, Jay Sparks from Crystal Lake, Illinois in the number 40. Shotgun on the field, hailing from Kansas City, Missouri, the 11J, Todd Jackson. Don't forget, folks, too, if you've got the My Race Pass app, you can follow along with Cole County Speedway on the app. If fans just kind of want to get a feel for it, there is a free option that will give you some results early on as they happen, not live results, but it's kind of fun to get a feel for it. And I think once you do, you may want to sign up and pay the little fee for the My Race Pass app. And the young Dominic Bruns leads them on the back row. They'll be coming to get the one to go momentarily. Dominic Bruns on the inside, Logan Manson on the outside. Remember, this is Manson's first go in a midget and his first race in 3 years of any kind. Top 5 get their positions back and will involve themselves in the redraw. Here we go. And we have a green. Logan Manson jumps to the front over Dominic Bruns. That white car is flying right now. Bruns has a whole bunch of angry bumblebees behind him, though. Looking on the inside of Bruns to take second is, Dalton England got really wild there. Meanwhile, the 7B of Cody Beard grabs that runner-up spot. Bruns is fighting back, and Bruns is fighting off Brian Peterson now. Peterson looking for the third spot. Neck and neck with Bruns for third. Meanwhile, Manson's walking away with it. Peterson gets Bruns, as does the Joker, Jay Sparks. Now Dalton England looking to get a transfer spot. We'll watch that run for fifth with Dominic Bruns and Dalton England. First 3 or 4 are pretty evenly spaced, and here comes England by Bruns. Dalton England gets the last transfer at this point. Meanwhile, Logan Manson is now under pressure. As they come to the checkered flag, they make contact, and Manson gets by. Just nips Cody Beard at the line. Brian Peterson slowed down. Jay Sparks had to get on the binders, and all is well. Manson, Beard, Peterson, Sparks, and England round out the top 5. Dominic Bruns was 6th, and Todd Jackson finishes it up in 7th spot. And with that, I'll turn it over to the capable hands of the Coles County Speedway announcing crew.
Thank you once again, Bill. Coming up next, some more micro racing coming your way. Coming up next, the A-Class wing cars. Kevin, go ahead.
And your starting lineup for the A-Class wing. Starting first, from Fairland, Indiana, number 95M, Noah Mell. Starting second, from Chatham, Illinois, number 55J, Cameron Jacobs. Starting third, from Brazil, Indiana, number 5, Nate McMillan. Starting fourth, from Oakland, Illinois, number 6, Clayton Apple. Starting fifth, from Edwardsville, Illinois, number 94, Jordan Clary. And starting sixth, from Dardine Prairie, Missouri, number 11H, Harrison Robarbs.
So it sounds like, unfortunately, we've lost our speakers at the racing facility. So right now we've only got the broadcast. We're working on getting that fixed right now. So if you hear some banging noises up from behind me somewhere, that's probably what it is. It's a pretty typical issue we have with this, honestly, kind of an old system. Hey, there it goes. We're back. Hello, fans here at the Speedway. We've got our amplifier issue fixed again. It happens. It gets a little too hot. We got it working. It's week 1 problems. That's the excuse. Anyway, so we're good. We're all good. Everything's working again.
And with that, here is your starting lineup for the A-Class Wing. Starting first, from Fairland, Indiana, number 95M, Noah Mell. Starting second, from Chatham, Illinois, number 55J, Cameron Jacobs. Starting third, from Brazil, Indiana, number 5, Nate McMillan. Starting fourth, from Oakland, Illinois, number 6, Clayton Apple. Starting fifth, from Edwardsville, Illinois, number 94, Jordan Clary. And starting sixth, from Dardine Prairie, Missouri, number 11H, Harrison Robarbs. Your A-Class Wing Heat Race number 1.
I'll run through that order again. Microphone was turned off. Noah Mell, Cameron Jacobs, Nate McMillan, Clayton Apple, Jordan Clary, Harrison Robarbs. The starting order down to turn 1.
Really?
There we go. It worked. All right. Through turns 1 and 2. 2, 3 wide the field. Clayton Apple slow off turn number 2. Noah Mell working his way open to turns 1 and 2. He's going to hit a car underneath him. Cameron Jacobs can't get the shot underneath. He'll look underneath again. As they roll through turns 3 and 4, Jacobs' advantage off turn number 4. Not quite clear on the front stretch. He'll clear down to 1. Noah Mell going to back this up, see what he can do. Here with 6 laps to go, it said he'll have another car to his inside right away. Nate McMillan right there with him. To his inside, he's clear down the front stretch into 1. Mell sideways in front of the field in third, able to hold on to it and save us. Clayton Apple pulled that in the infield a few laps ago. Clary goes by him. Robars now goes by him as well. Out in front, Jacobs going to have to hold on against McMillan. McMillan looking to the inside down here in turns 3 and 4. 3 to go this time. Back to 1. Still that 55J out in front. Jordan Clary coming up right behind them as well. Closing speed rapidly. Coming around. 2 to go this time. McMillan all over the back bumper of Jacobs. Lap time's about a 10 faster for that 5 machine as he heads back into turns 3 and 4. 2 to go as they come through turns 3 and 4. White flag as they hit the start line. Back to 1 and 2 for the final time. One last shot for Nate McMillan as they head back into turns 3 and 4. One car goes high, the other done low. Side by side off 4 to the line. It's Cameron Jacobs taking the A-Class Wing Heat Race number 1 victory. Nate McMillan second, Jordan Clary third, Harrison Robarbs fourth, Noah Mell fifth, and mentioned it earlier, Clayton Apple pulled off the racetrack after only 1 official completed lap.
And while the cars cross the scales here, we'll give you the starting lineup for your A-Class Wing Heat Race number 2. Starting first, from Litchfield, Illinois, number 3E, Bodie Everett. Starting second from Waupun, Wisconsin, number 26P, Jackson Peters. Starting third from Lincoln, Illinois, number 22, Tanner Triplett. Starting fourth from Wayne City, Illinois, number 54D, Dakota Woolever. Starting fifth from Phoenix, Arizona, number 3, Drew Sherman. And starting sixth from Danville, Illinois, number 88T, Tyler Taylor. That is your A-Class Wing Heat Race starting lineup for Heat Race number 2.
They'll have the one to go right away as they head off into turn number 1. Our flagman, John Shipman, already waiting on them at the start line. Bodie Everett issued to slow down by race control just so they get everybody out here. I see all 6 cars. They're going to be all lined up by the time they get to the first caution light, which is already extinguished down there in turn 1. Bodie Everett, Jackson Peters, row number 1, here for heat race number 2 in this A-Class Wing heat racing action. Here we go through the start cone. Green flags waving. Bodie Everett down to 1 with the lead. Right behind him, though, he's up on the berm already. Excuse me, he's already 3 wide behind them. Here comes Peters over looking for the inside of Bodie Everett. Everett holds on to that top spot for now. Right away, Peters now pushed 3 wide. Up at the top of 3, Tanner Triplett, Drew Sherman coming through, looking for that second spot as well. Sherman is going to clear for 3rd place for now. He's looking for 2nd right away. Sherman definitely the fastest car on racetrack right now. Great battle going on for the 5th spot between Woolever and Taylor, back out behind them. But an even better battle right here for 2nd. Back into 1. Up on the berm goes the 3 is Sherman. Sherman able to hold on to his race car for now. He's going to try it again. Get 2 tires up on the berm that time. He did not complete the pass, so that is not, he will not have that position taken away. He keeps rolling by. Now he'll get him as they go through turns 1 and 2 cleanly this time. Bodie Everett out in front with 3 laps to go. Single file, sparks flying, a big issue for Tanner Triplett. This will be a caution. Woolever to the infield. Something, I saw him on the front stretch. Sparks were flying from underneath the left side of that car. Something significant has broken for Tanner Triplett here in heat race number 2 of the A-Class Wings.
We also got the 54D car of Dakota Woolever that's pulled off into the infield itself.
There was definitely a ton of smoke from underneath the 22 machine. And I'm trying to see, is there any fluid down on the racetrack? I'm not seeing any from where around his car really started throwing sparks. There might be a little bit headed off into turn 1. I don't know if that's going to be an issue. We'll see what the track crew decides to do with it. Our flagman's pointing it out. As a track crew heading out to inspect it, see what they decide to have these drivers do, see if they just have them run over it or if they'll make them bring out something a little bit more heavier. No, they're going to make them run right over that spot, try to run it in. As that spot will likely, yeah, I can see it all the way on the exit of turn 2, long trail of some sort of fluid all the way around the racetrack. So without a doubt, this will take a few minutes to clean up here on the Speedway. We'll see if they decide to do something a little bit more aggressive with trying to get this fluid run into the racetrack. But it already looks like it's running in pretty well just on this front stretch mark. We'll see. It looks like they may have decided, yep, they're thinking that's good enough. 1 to go signal going to be coming around to the field this time with half the heat race left to go. 4 down, 4 to go once they come back to green. 1 to go signal coming to them this time. Only 4 remain. Tanner Triplett, Tyler Taylor still out there. He'll come into the 4th spot. Dakota Woolever and Tanner Triplett, the 2 that are out of the race for now. Caution lights extinguished. Bodie Everett up front. Drew Sherman behind him. Jackson Peters. Tanner Triplett make it up the remainder of this 2nd heat race for the A-Class Wings. They come through the restart cone. Everett's on the gas. We're green. Right away, though, Sherman's on the gas just as good as him. He's alongside by the time they're off turn number 2. Side by side for the lead back to 3. Sherman throws it in deep into turns 3 and 4. Everett backs it up, gets back alongside and back into turns 1. Sherman led that last lap as he's clear off turn number 2. Drew Sherman now out up onto the point, and he is going to start pulling away with a much faster car, about 0.4 seconds faster that time. On just the lap he passed them on, white flags waving for him this time. Rest of the field single file out behind him. Battle for third starting to brew just a little bit, but too little, too late. Checkered flags flying for Drew Sherman here in the second A-Class Wing Heat Race. Second will go to Bodie Everett. Jackson Peters will end up in third. Tyler Taylor fourth. About half a second separation between every car in the field. Tanner Triplett, Dakota Woolever, both the two cars that did not finish the race, both pulled off at the halfway point on lap 4.
Coming up next is our mod lights. We have 3 entries, so this will be one heat race. So here's your starting lineup. Starting first from Kokomo, Indiana, number 65, Matthew Boyle. Starting second from Mitchell, Indiana, number 15, Jimmy Arthur. And starting third from Windsor, Illinois, number 7W, Dustin Weltermude. That is your starting lineup for our mod lights heat race.
And if you haven't already, as you know, we are pretty active on Facebook. That's where we have most of our information posted. But if you didn't know this, we're also now on YouTube and TikTok. We'll take you behind the scenes on TikTok and YouTube Shorts. And hopefully you can go follow us over there as well for some great behind the scenes content from our media crew here at the Speedway. And we hope to see you over at TikTok and YouTube for some awesome content. Mod Light's going to be on the racetrack shortly.
And our flagman John Shipman says, let's get these cars on the track and get going, and here they come. Once again, your starting lineup. Starting first from Kokomo, Indiana, number 65, Matthew Boyle. Starting second from Mitchell, Indiana, number 15, Jimmy Arthur. And starting third from Windsor, Illinois, number 7W, Dustin Weltermude. This is your Mod Light heat race.
So looks like the order is going to have to get fixed just a little bit here. We're probably not going to go green this time, I would suspect. Unless they are able to get alongside, maybe. And maybe they're not ready. No, they're going to throw the green. They're ready. They can go. Matthew Boyle was originally shown on pole. He dropped to the tail. Jimmy Arthur, Dustin Weltermude, the front row, which was changed. And it'll be Wiltermore with the lead as they complete lap number 1.
And that start was the old either get with it or get left behind. So our flagman John Shipman dropped the green on him. If you can't get ready, you're going anyways.
Yeah, I was going to say, quite a few times last year, it took probably, well over 5-10 minutes for a heat race to get ready. We're saying we're apparently not going to do that anymore. You get one lap, you better be ready. Jimmy Arthur all over the rear bumper of Wiltermude. See what he can do here off turn 4 this time with 5 laps to go. He'll look to the inside down to 1. Does not get there. His left front tire off the ground as he heads off into the corners. That car really set up nicely for this Speedway. He'll get to the inside once again off turn 4. Cannot quite keep it alongside as he heads back to turn 1. But definitely Jimmy Arthur's car, the faster car of the two up front. Matthew Boyle as well out there in that number 65 machine, much slower than these other cars. And now Jimmy Arthur starting to fall back from the back bumper of Justin Weltermude. Weltermude starting to pull away, finding some pace in that number 7W machine as he rolls off turn number 4 with 2 laps to go here in the Mod Light heat race. Weltermude approaching the lap traffic of Boyle. We expect Boyle to stay out of the way or at least hold his line. White flag coming this time for the number 7W. Dustin Weltermude has led every lap of this heat race as he rolls back into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. He's got the lap car between him and his competitor. Checkered flags waving. It'll be the 7W of Dustin Weltermude taking the victory here in the Mod Light heat race. Jimmy Arthur second. Matthew Boyle almost collecting the fence off turn 4 on the final lap. Finishes a lap down in third. 2 classes left to go in heat race running tonight. Up next, going to be the Outlaw Wings.
And as Dustin Wiltermood gets his picture taken for being a heat race winner, we will give you the starting lineup for their Outlaw Wing class. Starting first, from Edwardsville, Illinois, number 94C, Mark Clary. Starting second, from Lincoln, Illinois, number 22, Tanner Triplett. Starting third, from Sullivan, Illinois, number 12, Colin Shane. Starting fourth, from Edwardsville, Illinois, number 94, Jordan Clary. Starting fifth, from St. Joseph, Illinois, number 47, Clay Frederick. Starting sixth, from Marshall, Illinois, number 00, Brandon Healy. Starting seventh, from DeSoto, Missouri, number 10J, J.R. Henson. And starting eighth, from Springfield, Illinois, number 55S, Darren Stark. Your Outlaw Wing Heat Race number 1.
These guys have really slowed the pace down, but they're not going to get the one to go signal, it looks like. And never mind, race control says we're putting them out. We're going racing. I like this race control.
Yeah, there's no messing around with it this year. Either get in line or get left behind. You get on the track, you better be ready to go.
Tanner Triplett on the outside, Mark Clary on the inside. As they head over towards turns 3 and 4 for heat race number 1 of the Outlaw Wings. Elbows out already, green flags waving. Harrison Robarts definitely getting the elbows out very early on. Clary, Triplett side by side off of turns 1 and 2. Looking 3 wide is Dalton. Jordan Clary was looking 3 wide outside, didn't quite able to do that. Now he's stuck on the outside and falling back. Front 2 starting to pull away that outside groove. Not there yet so far tonight. But the rest of the field doing a good job, single file, as they work their way through. Tanner Triplett falling all the way back to almost second to last, and now he will fall all the way to second to last. One car with an issue on the front stretch, slow, and he'll pull down the infield. It's Brendan Healy. Still rolling around out in front, Mark Clary with Colin Shane all over his rear bumper. Colin Shane, that number 12 machine, the Coles County Speedway Outlaw Wing car, is all over him. Colin Shane, such a good driver here at Coles County Speedway. He's looking to continue that one on tonight. Darren Stark stalking them right behind them as well, back in third, about half a second back, now within 3/10, top 3 under a blanket. Jordan Clary goes underneath Clay Frederick for the 4th spot. Frederick fighting back, white flag flying as Colin Shane bicycles it through turns 3 and 4. He'll get able to hold on to that outside groove, holds on to the lead. Checker flags coming for the 94C and Mark Clary off turn number 4. Colin Shane bicycles the second. And that's incredible how he was able to hold on to that race car. And he is just about able to hold on to that second spot. Darren Stark in third, Jordan Clary fourth, Clay Frederick in fifth. We have a missing data in sixth, seventh, Tanner Triplett, eighth, also a missing data. But that missing data I know for a fact is Brendan Healy in eighth, as he went off 3 laps into the race. J.R. Henson was the 6th place finisher in the 10J.
And with that, we will give you the starting lineup for Outlaw Wing Heat Race number 2. Starting first, from Hammond, Illinois, number 14B, Nolan Bartley. Starting second, from East Peoria, Illinois, number 40, Devin Feger. Starting third, from Charleston, Illinois, number 1X, Seth Buell. Starting fourth, from Hammond, Illinois, number 88, Billy Lieb. Starting fifth, from Jasper, Indiana, number 87, Reed Whitney. Starting sixth, from Godfrey, Illinois, number 1E, Eric Braunmeyer. And starting seventh, from Belleville, Illinois, number 101, Tobias Midkiff. Your Outlaw Wing Heat Race number 2. Looks like we have a little bit of little trouble on the track here, so we'll be going around another lap or 2 before we go green.
So the safety crew checking out a spot over there in turn 1. Looks like they've got that, whatever issue they saw, all sorted out. And I will say Seth Buell did not make the start of this race. I was going to say I saw him walking around here on the front stretch. Evidently that 1X not in a condition to race in this heat race. But you know what? We'll go racing with Adam here in heat race number 2. Outlaw Wings are back green. Bartley to the advantage over in turns 1 and 2. Devin Feger around him on the outside as caution will come out right away. We'll have to stack them back up and try it again. race control, I don't know if they saw something they didn't like, but the caution did come out. And it looks
Try
like
again we will.
warning was issued. Apparently, there was a start cone violation for somebody. So it will be just a warning for now. Next one's to the tail. I believe that's what our rule book says.
Went back, first violation.
Either way, we're going back green. Green flags in the on Outlaw wing. Heat race number 2. Bartley on the inside. It will be Feger on the outside. Feger powers around him, and he'll go to the point. Through at the end of lap number 1, Eric Brodenmeyer 2 wheels up on the berm, able to hold on to his spot for now. The 5 of Reed Whitney goes by Nolan Bartley for the second spot off into turn 2. Eric Brodenmeyer now to the inside of Bartley. Nolan Bartley just not having a good race so far as he's trying that middle groove. His car just has no pace up there. Needs to get down as soon as possible. And now Billy Leeball backing up, is bumping on his back bumper already. Eric Brodenmeyer now up to third in the 1E, out behind him. Still that number 14 being now side by side for the 4th spot. Billy Lieb looking with about halfway left to go. Out in front, Devin Feger under pressure from Reed Whitney as they roll back into turns 1 and 2. Just 3/10 separate the leaders as the rest of the field single file. It will be Whitney trying to pull Feger back in. Feger cannot quite stay in front as good as he has been so far. White flag in the air this time for Devin Feger. Just 2/10 separated them at the line that time. Reed Whitney gonna look into turns 3 and 4. Does he dive it in? Yes, he does. They're gonna be side by side off turn 4 for the heat race win at the line. Too close to call the timing and scoring we go. Devin Feger takes the win over Reed Whitney by less than 1/10 of a second.
Wow, what a finish. What a finish.
4/100ths of a second, the margin of victory for Devin Feger in this second Outlaw Wing heat race over Reed Whitney, who finishes in second. Eric Brodenmeyer third, Nolan Bartley fourth, Billy Lieb fifth, Tobias Midkiff in sixth, and Seth Beal did not start.
I've seen a number of drivers tonight get up on that berm a little bit. They're finding out they're not getting good results out of that.
No, absolutely, the berm's so much more punishing this year. And that is exactly what that concrete underneath it was put there to do. Punishes you for getting up on that berm. It makes the car super tight, and you just lose all sorts of traction when you get on it now.
Absolutely. Now coming up next is our restricted micros, and your starting lineup for heat race number 1 is starting first from Brownsburg, Indiana, number 57G, Ezra Green. Starting second from Marine, Illinois, number 22D, Dalton Clary. Starting third from Springfield, Illinois, number 67, JR, R.J. Smith. Starting fourth from Terre Haute, Indiana, number 10M, Mackenzie Meany. Starting fifth from Arlington, Illinois, number 14E, Emerson Kisner. And starting sixth from Brazil, Indiana, number 5, Caden Wells. This is your restricted micros heat race number 1, and it looks like they're rolling onto the track now.
And here they come to the start line for the 1 to go signal. They'll get themselves nice and organized as they head off into turn 1. Past the timing line, you can see it on the scoreboard on the backstretch if you're here. Everybody will get their transponders figured out on lap. For the first lap they come out. Second lap, that'll be green. As here they come once again, Ezra Green and Dalton Clary, the front row, as they head for the start cone up in turn number 4 as they roll into turn 3. They're looking for the green flag here in restricted micros heat race number 1. It's green. We're going off into turn number 1. It'll be Dalton Clary to the point off into turn 1. Trouble out behind, back 2, 3, 4 car pile up as they headed through turns 1 and 2. Caution will come back out, and it will be a double file restart.
So like Ezra Green got just a little bit loose there, and it had to check up, and that backed up the whole field. Had a couple cars up over the berm.
Yeah, I was going to say, we saw that in hot laps. That car was super wiggly for about 2-3 laps. Every time he turned the wheel to get into the corner, the back end would kind of step out on him. And obviously that was the exact same case here in the heat race, and collects 3 other cars with him. The 2 cars stopped, R.J. Smith, who just got rolling, and Caden Wells still having his car looked over by the track safety crew as he's, I believe, stuck actually on the berm. I do believe one of the other cars involved was Mackenzie Meany. Emerson Kisner drops behind her, but I don't believe she was involved. She just stomped on the brakes to miss everything. So RJ Smith is looking like he might need a little bit of help. Get that engine refired or some sort of issue they're looking over, or at least he wants to have looked over. Caden Wells as well is still tucked up on the berm. They're going to try to push this car off. He's pretty high-centered well up on that berm. I think that's the most high-centered we've seen a car, well, since the berm's been put in. We've had a couple of cars high-centered. I don't think we ever had them high-centered like that before.
No, we've seen him hanging off the fence, but
That we have. And RJ Smith will get refired. He'll join back up on the tail end of the field. Well, maybe not. Black flag's coming out for somebody. Let's take a look. John Shipman, black flag in hand. Who is it being issued to is the question. Kisner to the inside. It must have been for Emerson Kisner because the black flag going away now as she pulls down to the infield. I don't know if he was dropping some sort of fluid that we cannot see from the broadcast booth. But that was definitely Kisner was the cause of the black flag there. Anyways, up on the hook will go Caden Wells. I would imagine this wouldn't be go to the infield hook. I'd imagine this is let's just get the car off the berm hook. As we will wait on the track safety crew to get that car up and off the berm. It's up on the hook. And there it goes, out back onto the racetrack. It's good. They're going to drop the hook on it. And that car ready to race here in restricted micro heat race number 1. Once again, if you're just now tuning in, a lot of new faces in the sponsorship of this racing facility. It's old historic racing facility, of course, the oldest micro sprint track in the United States. One of those is the brand new Dirty Right Rear podcast. Our track owner, Brian Rick's been on him a few times. He was on him once again this week. Also on the racetrack, sponsorship list, Kimstream Race Fuels, RS12 Motorsports, Spartan Transportation, High Caliber Graphics, Race Ranch, Ware.com, Victory Seats, Strong Elevator, Strong Bookkeeping, Napa Know-How of Matt Toon, Neoga, and Effingham, Duncan Windows, Race Tech, Titanium, of course KKM Challenge coming back later this year as well, Hyper Racing Midwest, Burromax, Cleveland Grain Systems, Express Employment Solutions, Driven Midwest, plus Global Logistics, and KC Summers. A few of those are returning sponsors. Quite a few new faces, though, on the sponsorship board this year. Looks like everybody able to get back going except for Emerson Kisner. As her car stopped in the infield, it looked like it was going to be black flagged. And now track crew looking at a spot up in turns 3 and 4. A 1 to go signal going to be given to the field this time here on restricted micro heat race number 1. It'll still be Ezra Green and Dalton Clary on the front row. We'll see if Ezra Green can keep his car under control this time off the start. As obviously that issue during hot laps they had is coming back up again here early on in the night. Pretty slow pace speed so far. One of the slowest we've seen so far.
yeah, absolutely. I don't believe I've ever seen one quite this slow before, but we're in order and we're ready to go green.
Here they come to the start line. Through they go. And there they go past the start line. Green flags waving for the restricted micro field. Ezra Green falls back right away. Dalton Clary out in front as he got a great jump off that start. You know who else got a great start? Mackenzie Meany up to second right away from fourth. She's able to time those starts extremely well here at Coles County Speedway. She's got a second to make up here on Dalton Clary. See if she closes any this time. Caden Wells up on the berm, too tired. She will not close down any time. She actually loses a little time to Dalton Clary that time. Clary, without a doubt, fastest car on the racetrack to come back through turns 3 and 4. Ezra Green holding on to that third spot for now. Caden Wells right behind him. Green gets tight in the middle of turns 1 and 2, has to back out of the throttle. Caden Wells is not able to be close enough to threaten that position just yet. He's all over the rear bumper of the 57G. Green up high again in turn 2. Car not very happy down there on the outside lane. Here comes Caden Wells, 2 tires on the berm. That's going to have to be some sort of warning. As you know, can't pass with 2 tires on the berm here at Coles County. They have 2 laps to go for Dalton Clary as he extends his lead, but out behind them, it'll be an easy clear for third for Caden Wells. Finally dives it in there to turn 3, takes it away from Ezra Green. White flag waving this time for Dalton Clary, about a second between each car in the field. All single file out on the speedway as Dalton Clary will come back through turns 3 and 4 for the final time in the restricted micro heat race number 1. He'll take the win in the 22D machine. Mackenzie Meany, the 10M, will finish in second, almost 2 full seconds behind him. Almost a second and a half behind her was third place Caden Wells, then Ezra Green and R.J. Smith. Emerson Kisner was black flagged after the lap 1 incident on the first start attempt, and so she is not credited with a start, it appears.
And Dalton Clary will stop and get his picture taken for being a heat race winner. During this period, we'll give you the starting lineup for the final heat race of the night. Your restricted micro heat race number 2, the starting lineup will be starting first from Harrisburg, Illinois, number 14, Niles Tudor. Starting second from Oakland, Illinois, number 11R, Riley Bonowitz. Starting third from Springfield, Illinois, number 10, J.C. Standridge. Starting fourth from Benton, Illinois, number 71, Jagger Wiggs. And starting fifth from Springfield, Illinois, in the number 1K, Mackenzie Dowler. Once again, this is your restricted micro heat race number 2, our final heat race of the evening.
And it looks like they might wait on them to get the Kisner car out of the infield as that car headed up on the hook. Track crew going to roll that car back to the pit area. Hopefully crew can get that car fixed and it can be back out here for the feature later on tonight.
Looked like they had a little trouble getting that car up in the air, but then they said to heck with it. We'll just drag it off and drag it off. It will go.
Hey, it worked for Caden Wells. That car continued to run in the heat race.
Yes, it did.
It'll work for the 14E of Kisner. And once they're clear of the staging area down there, they'll send this second heat race out onto the racetrack. We've already got them up on our timing and scoring monitors.
And they'll wait till they get the hook gator back onto the track before they bring the cars out here.
Yeah, race control is going to wait on that gator to get back to the racetrack. We are missing a few gators, I've noticed.
Yeah, I believe hook gator is a distant cousin of tow gator. Play the games with me, son. Play the game.
We've got John shaking his head at you up here. Pretty sure he heard that. Well, we're still waiting on that gator to get back. I can see it coming back now. So with that, should be coming back onto the racetrack.
We have a beautiful night of racing out here tonight. We looks like we have a full moon out there.
We had to wait on Dalton Clary to get weighed.
Yep.
That's what we were waiting on.
And looking out to your right, you can see the sprawling metropolis of Loxa, Illinois, located right behind Sarah Bush Lincoln Health Center.
So Dalton Clary gets his car weighed. Hopefully it's within minimum weight standards. And that win will stand as official.
And our final heat race of the night is on the track, our restricted micros, heat race number 2.
Niles Tudor going to be the pole sitter once again. This field does not look all that ready. They might be ready.
Lined up next to him will be Riley Bonowitz in the 11R from Oakland, Illinois. Inside of row 2 will be J.C. Standridge from Springfield, Illinois, in the number 10. On the outside of row 2 will be Jagger Wiggs, number 71 from Benton, Illinois. And bringing up the tail end will be the number 1K machine of Mackenzie Dowler. She's from Springfield, Illinois.
Actually, looks like that outside front row starter has elected to go to the rear. Riley Bonowitz to the tail. Move that rest of that outside row up. Actually, just move everybody up one spot. So instead, it's Niles Tudor and J.C. Standridge on the front row through the start cone.
Nope.
Our flagman doesn't like it. We're going to throw the yellow. We're going to stack them up, try it again.
And it is common practice. You see Riley Bonowitz starting in the back. She was new last year, I believe, ran junior sprints. She's new to the restricted, so has elected to go to the back while she learns, which is a smart move.
Yeah, she only ran the restricted a few times last year. And that car definitely has more pace than it did last year. That car was relatively far off the pace last year, but definitely some good pace found in that 11R machine for Riley Bonowitz this year.
A little more speed, a little more experience, running much better.
So we're going to try this again with Niles Tudor and J.C. Standridge on the front row. So they're going to have to be side by side at the start cone. Once again, that is the rule here at Cool Sky Speedway. Be side by side, can't go before. Well, they went a little bit before, but they both went at the same time, so we'll stay green. Niles Tudor down to turn one with the lead. Standridge will drop back to third as Jagger Wiggs up to second right away. Wiggs trying to roll his way up to Tudor as right away Mackenzie Dowler looking on the inside of Standridge as they head off into turn 1 and 2. They're single file as they complete lap number 1. Lap number 2 in the book, still single file throughout the field. The top two within 0.3 of a second. Third and fourth within 0.3 of a second as well. Mackenzie Dowler all over the rear bumper now. J.C. Standridge back into turns 3 and 4. Standridge a little bit wider on exit than Dowler, but Dowler's entry just that little bit better than the 10 car in front of her. That's allowing her to stay all nice and tight on the rear bumper of the 10 car out in front of her. And she is still all over the back bumper within 0.2 of that car in front of her. Now Standridge gets sideways off turn 2. That will allow Mackenzie Dowler through to the third spot. Dowler going to try to start pulling away, see if she can find any pace to chase down those two drivers in front of her here late in the going. 2 seconds, the gap she has to make up. 2 to go for the 14 of Niles Tudor. White flag going to be coming out. John Shipman, our flagman, looked like he accidentally grabbed the yellow flag. Well, we didn't want that one on the final lap of the race. White flag in the air for Niles Tudor, and he'll roll through turns 3 and 4 for the final time, taking the checkered flag in the final heat race of the night here on heat race number 2 for the restricted micros. Jagger Wiggs actually did close in just a little bit that last lap, down to almost a second. Mackenzie Dowler in third, J.C. Standridge fourth, Riley Bonowitz will round out the field in fifth. Outlaw wing feature to staging. Outlaw wing feature to staging. Attention in the pits.
That horn back here. Somebody blow the horn for me. Somebody blow the horn for me. I got it.
So we're going go, go, go tonight. Here we are already called up, the first feature of the night. So no track prep going on tonight. So if we have a short the short intermission we have will probably be about 5 minutes to allow for that first feature of Outlaw wings to come to staging. Attention in the pits, attention in the pits. Outlaw wing feature to staging. Outlaw wing feature to staging. All right, just about time to go feature racing here tonight. Starting us off will be the Outlaw Wing class for their 20-lap feature. There are 15 entries rolling out onto the racetrack right now. On the pole, going to be the 55S of Darren Stark from Springfield, Illinois. Reed Whitney in the 87 from Jasper, Indiana, alongside him. Devin Feger from East Peoria, Illinois, in the 40, lines up inside row 3. Outside of him will be Eric Rodemeyer from Godfrey, Illinois, in the 1E. Starting 5th will be Mark Clary from Edwardsville, Illinois, in the 94C. Starting 6th will be Colin Shane from Sullivan, Illinois, in the 12. Starting 7th, Jordan Clary also from Edwardsville, Illinois, in the 94. Nolan Bartley from Hammond, Illinois, in the 14B, starts 8th. Clay Frederick from St. Joseph, Illinois, in the 47, starts 9th. And rounding out the top 10 will be Billy Lee from Hammond, Illinois, in the 88. Starting first car outside the top 10 in the 11th starting spot is J.R. Henson in the 10J from DeSoto, Missouri. Starting 12th, Tobias Midkiff from Belleville, Illinois, in the 101. 13th will be Seth Buell from Charleston, Illinois, in the 1X. And alongside him will be Tanner Triplett from Lincoln, Illinois, in the 22. And starting in the 15th and final starting spot will be Brendan Healy from Marshall, Illinois, in the 00. Looks like he's not out on the racetrack. Doesn't look like Seth Buell is either. So it does look like officially, once we get the race started, the last place starter will be Tanner Triplett. Field coming to 1 to go this time for their 20-lap feature. Feature number 1 for 2025 here at Coles County Speedway. A lot of racing action for the rest of the year coming, but it all starts right here tonight. A pretty cold night, but we've got a good amount of fans still here at the racetrack as we get nice and early on into the racing season. Caution lights are out as the field rolls off of turn number 2. Darren Stark, Reed Whitney, the front row as they head up towards the start cone in 2025. Racing action about to get underway as they head for that start cone. And there they go. Green flag waving in 2025. We're racing in a feature. 3 wide already further back in the pack. 2 rows, 3 deep as they head off turn number 2. About the mid-pack out about 7th. Couple contact up in front. Devin Feger and the 5 of Reed Whitney. Whitney falling back with an issue. Right in front of the field. The field's going to have to split it 4 wide. 1 car up and over. Red flag is out as they go walk into turns 1 and 2. That's Tanner Triplett had to jump on the brakes. And I think the car was just a little bit too unstable and round and over it went onto its side. Just a tough break for Tanner Triplett. His night coming to an end at the end of lap 1. We'll see if race control backs it up a lap, because I think they do. So safety crew working on getting that car righted already. And also at the same time, track crews also checking the Reed Whitney car off turn 2. Whitney's car was off the pace from the get-go. His first lap was an 11.6. The race leader ran a 9.9. Definitely some left wing damage for Tanner Triplett. Track crew, or I should say the Coles County safety crew, checking him over, make sure he's okay. Would not probably expect him to continue here. The steering looks maybe a little broken. And they're going to go bring the hook over to it, and that car will head up on the hook. Definitely something broken on the right front suspension for that 22. So 1 lap will be officially complete once we go back racing. Darren Stark will be the leader, Eric Ronenmeyer second, Devin Feger third. See Colin Shane fourth, Mark Cleary officially scored as fifth. Reed Whitney was across the line in fourth officially, but would probably expect that car to go to the tail with some damage. And track crew are going to bring that 22 of Tanner Triplett around, see what that car looks like, as it comes by the stands on the front stretch, you see that top left wing damage, rather significant for Tanner Triplett, as his night comes to an end here early on in the Outlaw wing feature. Driver's okay, as he was indicating to our now victory lane reporter, Kevin, down there. Yeah, Tanner Triplett's car, definitely something broken in the steering. His car now off the racetrack. Yellow flag condition back on the Speedway, 19 laps to go in the Outlaw wing feature. Reminder, caution laps don't count. They have to do it under green. Darren Stark once again will be the leader. Eric Brodemeyer second. Devin Feger in third. Colin Shane will line up fourth, excuse me. Nope, they're going to allow the 5 back into his spot, so Reed Whitney will line up in fourth. I believe that's how they're going to score him. So race control has talked it over. They're going to put the 5 back in the fourth spot. That's where he was at the timing line officially. Lineup looking pretty good. Colin Shane 5th. Mark Clary 6th. Nolan Bartley 7th. Jordan Clary 8th. Billy Lieb 9th. Clay Frederick rounding out the top 10 on the coming restart. Rest of the field single filing out behind them. But out in front, Darren Starr going to try to get the advantage. He goes up high, as normal here at Coles County Speedway. Looking at the restart cone, dives at it. Eric Brodemeyer right on him right away as we come back to green. Already too wide behind them. Reed Whitney trying to get his car fired back up as he's holding on to that fourth spot for now. Right away, though, he's under pressure. Colin Shane goes by him for the fourth spot. Colin Shane now already looking for third on Devin Feger. They'll single file out inside the top 5. Now almost everybody single filing out as they head back to turns 3 and 4. Differing lines down there in turns 3 and 4 for the rest of the field. Out in front, though, Darren Stark now pulling away from Eric Brodemeyer. Top 2 breakaway. Then you have the rest of the field behind them. Everybody single file till you get further back. The Tim J and the 47 side by side near the tail of the field. J.R. Henderson, Clay Frederick fighting for that top 10 spot. Clay Frederick sideways. Going to drop all the way back into 12th. That's the amount of cars left on the racetrack. Single file goes the field now as they complete 5 laps. 6 down, 14 more to go. Darren Stark out in front with a almost second advantage over Eric Brodemeyer. Field single file. Billy Lieb looking to the inside of Mark Clary, it looks like, as they roll back off of turn number 4. Doesn't quite have enough momentum going his way to try to come back up on him. Colin Shane officially scored now up to third, past Devin Feger. Darren Stark still out in front, looking for him on the front stretch, now into lap traffic as he's almost approaching the halfway point. Eric Brodemeyer off turn 2, right behind him. Back into turns 3 and 4. They're on Clay Frederick. Blue flag likely being shown this time, and the halfway mark being shown. Sparks flying from underneath the 55S at Darren Stark, side by side for the lead off turn 2. Eric Brodemeyer back to the bottom of the racetrack, right behind him. Darren Stark trying to hold on to that top spot for now. He's doing a great job on the defensive end, but he has to get past this lap traffic. He's not going to have to. Caution will come just at the perfect time for him. Devin Feger slows up at the top of turn 4. Was running 4th at the time of caution, and he is done for the day. That car, unfortunate break for him, running decently inside the top 5. Had some good pace in that number 40 machine, and his race is over. The Outlaw Wing feature having just 10 laps to go, halfway home to the first feature checkered flag of the year. Eric Brodemeyer in second on the coming restart. Colin Shane third. Fourth will be Reed Whitney. Fifth behind him will be Jordan Clary. Nolan Bartley sixth. Mark Clary in seventh. Billy Lieb eighth. J.R. Henson in ninth. And Tobias Midkiff will round out the top 10 as Darren Stark looking to go towards the top side of the racetrack. Eric Brodemeyer right behind him, waiting on the jump. Great start there for Darren Stark, but Eric Brodemeyer had one just as good. Green flags waving here with 10 to go in the Outlaw Wing feature. Here comes Colin Shane as well, going to throw his hat in the ring. door banging back behind them, back outside the near the top 10 spot. Billy Lee getting the elbows out, trying to get around Mark Clary. They'll stay single file for now throughout the entire field, but Billy Lee already looking again to the inside of Mark Clary, still looking for an opportunity to pass that 94C. Back off of turn number 2 goes that battle for 7th. Billy Lee to the inside in turn 3, can't stay alongside all the way through the corner. They'll back it up, try it again over here in turns 1 and 2. Gets a good advantage that time. He'll clear Mark Clary off of turn number 2. Clary backs it up. He doesn't have a shot back at him. 6 laps to go for the race leader, Darren Stark, as Stark will come off of turn number 4 with Eric Brodenmeyer behind him. Brodenmeyer starting to fade back just a little bit. Darren Stark out in front, really starting to pull away. Half-second advantage that last time by the timing line. Still a half-second advantage. Lap times are almost equal between the top 2 as they head for getting closer to home. 3 laps to go. Everybody single filed out through the field. Still half a second the advantage for Darren Stark. Eric Brodenmeyer loose off turn 2 that time. Darren Stark starting to approach that lap traffic of Clay Frederick again. 2 laps to go for him. He's got some time to work with, almost his full second. 95 of Jordan Clary running 5th with an issue, pulls down to the infield. White flags waiting for Darren Stark back through turns 1 and 2 for the final time. Some lap traffic in front of him. He doesn't need to pass them. He's got enough room out back, and he'll come off turn number 4. And Darren Stark takes the first checkered flag of the year in the Outlaw Wing Features. Eric Brodenmeyer going to have to settle for a second place finish. Colin Shane 3rd, Reed Whitney 4th, Billy Lee 5th. Nolan Bartley will finish in 6th, Mark Clary in 7th, J.R. Hinson in 8th, Tobias Midkith 9th, Clay Frederick 10th, and the non-finishers include Jordan Clary, Devin Feger, Tanner Triplett, and Seth Buell. Brendan Healy did not make the start of the race. Top 5 going up over the scales now. And Darren Stark, we'll see if that car meets minimum weight requirements. If he does, he'll make that hard left-hand turn into victory lane and be the first driver in Coles County Speedway victory lane in 2025. He gets the thumbs up. He'll make that hard left-hand turn into Coles County Speedway victory lane as your first Outlaw Wing Feature winner of 2025. Kevin, you're going to be down there with our winner.
All right, folks, he's up and out of his car. Give a big round of applause to number 55S, Darren Stark from Springfield, Illinois, your A-class, or your Outlaw Wing Feature winner. Ready to start, bud. All right, I'm down here with your Outlaw Wing Feature winner, Darren Stark from Springfield, Illinois. Darren, it was a pretty close race between you and the 1E of Eric Braumeister, and then the Colin Shane, the number 12, was there. After that last restart, you were able to pull away some from them there. The track looked fast. You guys were turning down some pretty quick times. You were at sub-10 at one time.
Damn. We were really quick and clean air compared to when we got to lap traffic. The track was just so tight, really couldn't do anything, and I kept breaking my momentum, which allowed them to catch me, and that track kind of kicked my ass, I'm not going to lie. It was quick and cowboy up, and I haven't been in the car in 5-6 months, but it's good to get one back first night in the car, so I can't thank my dad and my grandma and OSR Motors. It's been an awesome off season. I can't thank my grandpa enough. This one's for you, Grandpa. I love you and I miss you, and I appreciate everything you've done for me. Hopefully we can keep this speed and go kick some ass with WFO on May 3rd.
Excellent. All right, folks, once again, let's give a big round of applause to Darren Stark, your Outlaw Wing Feature winner here at Coles County Speedway.
Again, once again, congratulations to Darren Stark, the first feature winner of 2025 here at Coles County Speedway. Coming up next will be the A-Class Wings with a 20-lap feature for their 12 entries. And I believe one of those cars will probably not be on the racetrack as it was involved in that lap 1 incident. Or not lap 1 incident. Yeah, almost lap 1 incident. Lap 2 in turn 1. On the pole for the A-Class Wing feature from Phoenix, Arizona, it'll be the number 3 of Drew Sherman. Alongside him will be the 55J of Cameron Jacobs from Chatham, Illinois. Starting inside row 2 will be Nate McMillan from Brazil, Indiana in the 5. And alongside him on the outside of row 2 will be Jordan Clary from Edwardsville, Illinois in the 94. Starting 5th will be Bodie Everett from Litchfield, Illinois in the 3E. And starting 6th will be Harrison Robards from Dardine-Prairie, Missouri in the 11H. Starting in 7th will be Tyler Taylor from Danville, Illinois in the 88T. And alongside him in the 8th spot will be Jackson Peters in the 26P from Waupun, Wisconsin. Starting 9th will be Dakota Wooliver from Wayne City, Illinois in the 54D. Alongside him, rounding out the top 10, will be Noah Mell from Farland, Indiana in the 95M. And on the 6th and final row will be the 6th of Clayton Apple from Oakland, Illinois. And alongside him will be Tanner Triplett from Lincoln, Illinois in the 22. Once again, your A-Class Wing feature lineup for tonight. They've got 20 laps to settle it. Definitely the 2 fastest cars we've seen all night for those A-Class Wing cars, starting on the front row for a 20-lap feature. As there goes Darren Stark back to the pit area, a winner here in 2025 at Coles County Speedway. And it sounds like everybody made it down to staging after this previous feature. And they'll head on to the racetrack now. A couple of these guys just ran that last feature, so they're back out here trying it again for feature number 2 of the night. Once again, the A-Class Wing cars this time. These guys will get themselves lined up. We'll give them, it looks like, 2 laps to figure out their order. Seeing quite a few cars not making it out onto the racetrack, as we have seen a number of mechanical issues all night long for these winged micros. So they'll have 20 laps once again. Caution lights extinguished. Drew Sherman, Cameron Jacobs, the front row as they head up towards the start cone. They'll look for the green flag. They'll get it here on the A-Class Wing feature. First one of 2025 down to turn 1. Cameron Jacobs looks to the inside, trying to hold off the 94 of Jordan Clary behind him. Oh, almost up and over goes the 11. Going to stack the entire field up 3-4 wide down the front stretch. And everybody somehow manages to keep it clean, and we somehow stay green as Harrison Robards, last year track champion in this class, is able to hold on to that race car. And that's exactly how you saw and why he was track champion last year. Up in front of them, more trouble. The 26P of Jackson Peters going sideways off turn 2. Now Tyler Taylor on the berm with 2 tires. He's got issues. He's pulling down into the infield. He's done for the night. And because of that stack up, we have a huge breakaway out in front. The top 4 have really pulled good distance out in front. And there's no one out behind them. Harrison Robards still sideways back at the tail end of the field. Now the battle for second. You have the 55J, Cameron Jacobs, and Jordan Clary in the 94. They were side by side for a little bit. Further back still, Noah Mell and Harrison Robards. That battle for 6 still ongoing. Back out in front, Drew Sherman's led the first 6, and he'll look to continue to lead the next 14 if he can. He's got a 1.5 second advantage. He comes off turn 4 this time with 13 laps to go. Cameron Jacobs second, 1.7 seconds back of the leader, trying to hold off Jordan Clary, just 2 tenths behind him. Jordan Clary all over the rear bumper, and now under a blanket for the top 5 spot. Jackson Peters trying to make it work, elbows out once again for Harrison Robards. as he got it to the left rear of the 95 and Noah Mel. Off of turn 4 that time. They've separated out just a little bit further. Noah Mel sideways. Harrison Robart sideways as well to avoid him. 10 laps to go in the feature. Leader of Drew Sherman still not into lap traffic just yet. Not quite into that dirty air. He's getting closer to it, though. That's something he's going to have to start worrying about. And Bodie Everett sideways in front of Clayton Apple, able to save it. We stay green. Field all nice in single file so far, playing nice after a quick and messy start. They've done a great job so far. 8 laps to go, looking to become 7 as the leader coming across the stripe in lap traffic now. As Drew Sherman, now his advantage starting to fade just a little bit as Jordan Clary starting to close in within a second and a half now. He's sitting behind Clayton Apple as race leader Drew Sherman back to 1. Clary almost within a second now. Time's running out. Not sure if Jordan Clary has enough time, and they're side by side in front of race leader Drew Sherman. Clayton Apple, Bodie Everett side by side for the 9th spot. For the 8th spot. Drew Sherman takes advantage of it. He'll clear Clayton Apple relatively quickly here. Now we're already working on the 3E of Bodie Everett. He'll clear Everett as well, down to 1. Everett fights back to the inside with 4 laps to go. Everett, the lap car, trying to stay on the lead lap in a bit of a caution. Not going to work out for him as Sherman clears back into turn 1. Now he's got 2 lap cars between them. Coming to 2 to go this time is that number 3 machine of Drew Sherman. It'll be Clary getting into the back bumper of Apple, back down and off of turn number 4 into 1. He clears Everett, but he's still got 1 more lap car to clear, and there's not enough room for him to catch back up. White flag, Drew Sherman back to turn 1 for the final time. He'll head off of turn number 2 with some clean air behind him and a little bit of clean air in front of him. He'll come off turn number 4 and collect the checkered flag here in the A-Class wing feature with an easy win here by almost a second and a half over Jordan Clary. Almost no pressure all race long for Drew Sherman. Cameron Jacobs will settle for a 3rd spot. Nate McMillan 4th. Jackson Peters 5th. Noah Mel 6th. Harrison Robards 7th. Clayton Apple 8th. Bodie Everett 9th. Both of those last 2 1 lap down. Tyler Taylor finished only 3 laps officially before pulling off, and Dakota Wooliver and Tanner Triplett did not make the start. So once again, top 5 will go over the scales. And it will be a quick trip through the scales for Drew Sherman, and he'll take the left-hand turn into Victor Lane, becoming the 2nd feature winner here at Coles County Speedway in 2025. Drew Sherman picking up exactly where he left off last year. A couple of wins last year here at Coles County, picking up win number 1 of the season. Kevin, you're going to be down there with Drew Sherman.
All righty, everybody, let's give a big round of applause to Drew Sherman. All right, everybody, that's Drew Sherman, your A-Class wing feature winner here at Coles County Speedway. Okay, Drew, you look like you started first, finished first, didn't give up anything between, can't do any better than that. You look like you were just on the rail and flying around the track.
Yeah, I felt good all night. We had a really good car all night. My dad set it up pretty much perfect for tonight, and you know, I got the good start, and I just got gone after that. I'd like to thank AMA Electrical, Sunshield Products, Panjagger Products, Swift Springs, Ellis Race Cars, Temperature Control, and my mom, my dad, my brother, everyone who helps. This is a real big help.
Cool. Now, I know you say you're from Phoenix, Arizona, but where do you live at now?
I live in Celestine, Indiana. We moved about 2 years ago, but everybody thinks I come out here every weekend to come.
Yeah, that would be a heck of a drive.
Yeah, I would.
All right, congratulations once again. All right, everybody, one more time, big round of applause for Drew Sherman, your A-Class Wing feature winner here at Coles County Speedway.
So another congratulations for Drew Sherman picking up his first feature win of the year here at Coles County Speedway. Coming up next is going to be the high caliber graphic junior sprints for a 15-lap feature. So track crew taking a quick look over the racetrack as Drew Sherman going to make his way off the racetrack a feature winner in 2025 here at Coles County Speedway. The high caliber graphic junior sprints waiting down there in the staging area. On the pole will be the 1P of Paxton Belchick from Alton, Illinois. Alongside him will be Colton Vogel from Buffalo, Illinois in the 14V. Out behind them, inside of row 2, will be Cruz Parsons from Park Hills, Missouri in the 6. Starting 4th will be Madison Meany in the 10M from Terre Haute, Indiana. Starting in 5th will be Xander LaRose from Festus, Missouri in the 1Z. Starting 6th will be Roland Peters from the 27P from Waupun, Wisconsin. R.J. Smith in the 11S from Springfield, Illinois will start 7th, with Presley Hall from Dislodge, Missouri in the 25P starting in 8th. Joe Bonowitz from Oakland, Illinois starts 9th in the D52, and Evan France from Leamington, Illinois in the 22 will round out the top 10. Then finally in the 11th and final starting position, you'll have Nolan Leone from Mahomet, Illinois in the 57. Your high caliber graphic junior sprint feature lineup as they make their way out onto the racetrack. And we also want to give a quick shout out to our good friend down there in the infield, SRL Media and Design. If you see any photographs on our Facebook page, yeah, pretty good chance it was taken by him. It'd be Scott Lehman with SRL Media and Designs. 1 to go signal going to be given to the field as they come back through the racetrack one last time before they get the green flag. They'll be side by side as they come on up to the 1 to go signal. Parson already looking to the inside of turn 1. Parson, of course, very good race car driver, been extremely hot as of late in these junior sprints, looking to pick up another feature win in 2025 is Cruz Parsons, but who can beat him? Can it be Paxton Belchick or Colton Vogel on the front row? They're green on the high caliber graphic junior sprint. Cruz Parsons with a fantastic start. We'll try to be alongside. No, we're not. We're going to throw the caution. We're going to try it again. So the initial start waved off as Tower not a fan of that initial start. So they stack it up. They're going to try it again. So warnings issued to the drivers responsible for causing the caution to come back out. Caution lights will be out. Caution lights are out. Belchick with the line at the start line. He gets a good jump this time. Much better start. It'll keep a good number of cars behind him this time. And Colton Vogel will be right behind him. Nope, we're going to go back yellow once again. So race control are going to take the blame on this one. No drivers responsible. Here I'm in the tower next to me. Which is a little bit too late of a call to try to get that yellow light off. We will not go green this time. 1 to go going to be given this time. Caution light should extinguish as they head to 1. Field nice and organized. Off into turn 2. Caution lights extinguished. Paxton Belchick, Colton Vogel once again the front row. We'll see if Cruz Parsons can get a good enough jump to try to get to the inside. Up towards the start cone. Field trying to fan out already. Green flags waving here on the high caliber graphic junior sprints. And Cruz Parson trying to get to the inside of Coton Vogel does not quite have enough of a good enough restart to get there. Instead, it'll be Paxton Belchick and Coton Vogel pulling away out in front. Single file through the rest of the field behind them. But still, Paxton Belchick, Coton Vogel out in front, going to try to settle this one over the next 14 laps. The last two feature winners have led flag to flag. Can this one be the first one not to be done that way? Coton Vogel looking to the inside in 3 and 4, elbows out. He'll get through. He'll lead a lap. So regardless, the feature winner will not lead every lap here on the third feature of the night. 12 laps to go, 3 down for Coton Vogel as he'll lead his second lap and the fourth lap overall. So he's now pulling away from that 1P of Paxton Belchick behind him. Cruz Parson fading back as well. But he's holding steady right at about a second behind the second place car of Belchick. Further back behind them, you see Madison Meany starting to come under pressure from R.J. Smith for about the 5th spot. A little bit further behind them, a couple more cars under a blanket. That includes Presley Hall and Roland Peters. They're starting to brew a battle back there for about the 5th and 6th spots respectively. But overall, single file, nobody trying to go around. One car spins up at turn number 2. It's the 27P of Presley Hall. Caution not going to come out. It was out of danger's way. We'll stay green for now. 7 laps complete. The car will come to a stop over in turn number 2. 27P of Roland Peters trying to get that car refired. It'll go back to 9 laps to go. 6 laps complete officially. Coton Vogel with a second advantage. Has that erased. He'll now go single file for the next restart. So Peters will get refired. He'll be restarting 10th. So restart order looks like it's going to be Coton Vogel. Going to be leading them back to green. Behind him, Paxton Belchick, Cruz Parson, Xander LaRose, Madison Meany, the top 5. 8 laps to go in the High Caliber Graphic Junior Sprint feature. Back through the restart cone. We're green. Cruz Parson got a good jump on the outside. Going to get pinched up towards the outside wall. Has to back out of a possible move on the outside. He'll fade back a couple tenths to the car in front of him. Halfway this time for the High Caliber Graphic Junior Sprint feature. Madison Meany already looking to the inside of Xander LaRose for 5th. She does not get a good jump there, but now she'll get sideways in turn 2. Has the 11 of R.J. Smith on her back bumper. She'll be able to hold on to that spot for now. Smith not able to make a move to the inside in turns 3 and 4. Field still single file. Now Smith to the outside of Meany. Going to try that outside move into 3 and 4. Backs it up, looking to the inside for a possible crossover. Doesn't happen in 3 and 4 that time. See if he can back it up again and try to take that 5th spot away from Madison Meany. Coming to 4 to go for race leader Coton Vogel here in the High Caliber Graphic Junior Sprint feature. Field single files out. A couple car lengths between each car respectively in the field. Meany not as good on the south end of the racetrack as she is on the north end. She keeping that R.J. Smith car behind her. Coming to 2 to go this time is Coton Vogel. In that 14V, he's got a second advantage, a second and a quarter as they cross the timing line that time by Paxton Belchick right behind them. And back in third, Cruz Parson is going to come around, taking the white flag as Coton Vogel back to 1. Field still single file all the way around. But Coton Vogel into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. That 14V, Coton Vogel will take the first High Caliber Graphic Junior Sprint feature win of 2025. He's the first feature winner of 2025, also not to lead every single lap of a feature. Paxton Belchick settles for a second place finish. Cruz Parson 3rd. Xander LaRose 4th. Madison Meany 5th. R.J. Smith 6th. Presley Hall 7th. Joe Bonowitz 8th. Evan Franson 9th. Nolan Leone 10th. And Roland Peters in 11th. Once again, top 5 will head up over the scales in this High Caliber Graphic Junior Sprint feature. And Goten Vogel won like just every other driver so far tonight. Won a couple times last year too here at Coles County Speedway, and that momentum from last year continuing on into this year in this high caliber graphic junior sprint class. Goten Vogel, the winner here on feature number 1 of 2025 for the high caliber graphic junior sprints.
Give that to him? There you go. All right, folks, he's up and out of his car. Let's give a big round of applause to Colton Vogel from Buffalo, Illinois, your high caliber graphics junior sprint feature winner here at Coles County Speedway. And one happy young man there. Going to have a little photo op here first.
Good job, buddy.
You might want it. I'll just interview him while he's in the car. Congratulations, Colton. What can you tell me about your race? You look fast out there.
I don't want to do this.
You got any sponsors? Anybody you want to thank?
HRC and HD Tree Service. Waylon. Yeah. Mom and Dad and Matthew. Waylon. And Niles for all the support.
All right. All right, well, congratulations. He's a little shy, guys, but he's getting there. One more time, give me a round of applause to Colton Vogel, your high caliber graphics junior sprint feature winner at Coles County Speedway. Sometimes the little guys are a little shy until they get a few years on them, but he did a great job driving tonight.
Goten Vogel off the racetrack as a feature winner here in the high caliber graphic junior sprints. Coming up next will be the Mod Light feature. With only 3 cars, it'll only be a 10-lap feature. Starting on the pole for the Mod Light feature will be Dustin Wiltermude in the 7W from Windsor, Illinois. Alongside him will be Jimmy Arthur in the 15 from Mitchell, Indiana. And starting in third will be Matthew Boyle in the 65 from Kokomo, Indiana. Typically, the numbers a little bit better here at Coles County Speedway for these mod lights than just these 3 tonight. Obviously, a little bit cold here on Saturday night for our opening night here at Coles County. Obviously, pretty early in the season, too, for these mod lights. Caution lights extinguished for them. They'll be side by side up towards the start cone. Up in turn 4, Dustin Wiltermude, Jimmy Arthur, Matthew Boyle, the field for this mod light feature. 10 laps. All it's going to be to decide it. Here they come to the start cone. Green flags waving on the mod light feature through into turn 1. It'll be that 7W Dustin Wiltermood with the advantage as they single file out right away. Jimmy Arthur going to jump right behind him, try to set in line, see what his car can do. A little bit tight on entry in turns 3 and 4. A car that's even tighter on entry, that number 65 of Matthew Boyle. He'll catch the fence. He almost goes up and over on the front stretch here. Red, or not red flag, this will just be a yellow flag. And there is going to have to check for some debris out here on the racetrack as Matthew Boyle went for a wild ride there on the front stretch. Track crew already to him, looking over. That was just a strange circumstances of events that led to that number 65 of Matthew Boyle to catch some air down here on the front stretch. Track crew already looking over at the top of the fence, see if they can find any debris off that number 65 of Matthew Boyle's car. Definitely see, I think the left rear is down on it. Left front might be flat as well, but definitely the left rear is. So up on the hook, Matthew Boyle will go. And Boyle's night is over in the first Mod Light feature of 2025 here on the completion of lap number 1. So once again, track crew looking over the racetrack, making sure it is all good to continue on with tonight's events. So only 2 cars will continue on in this feature with Matthew Boyle out of the race. Dustin Wiltermood, Jimmy Arthur, the only 2 cars left in the field. So it looks like the track looks good. The field's going to get the 1-to-go signal this time by to continue the Mod Light feature with 9 laps left to complete it. Just Dustin Wiltermude and Jimmy Arthur to decide it. Wiltermude in the 7W, Arthur in the 15. Caution lights extinguished as they head off turn number 2. Dustin Wiltermude, Jimmy Arthur nose the tail as they head up towards the restart cone up at turn 3. On the gas they come, and there they go, past the line. Green flags waving once again here on the Mod Light feature. Dustin Wiltermude with the advantage right away, down on the bottom of the racetrack through turns 3 and 4, and back again in turns 1 and 2. Second advantage for Wiltermude at the completion of lap number 2 and lap number 1 of that restart. One and a half second advantage now for Wiltermude, about 3/10 a lap faster than Jimmy Arthur. That pace has not changed at all. Both cars fell off about 1/10 that lap. Halfway this time, 5 down, 5 to go in the Mod Light feature. Wiltermude picking up the pace down to a 12.0 lap time last time by. See what he does this time out in front. 6 right around that 12-second range. Jimmy Arthur holding at about a 12.4. Of course, that is fading back from Dustin Wiltermude. Three laps to go for these Mod Lights. Jimmy Arthur 2.5 seconds behind Dustin Wiltermude. Off turn 4, 2 to go. Wiltermude still 2/10 faster than Arthur. White flag coming this time for the 7W of Dustin Wiltermude. Back into turns 1 and 2 for the final time with an almost 3-second advantage. He'll roll all the way into turns 3 and 4. Nice and easy. He'll come around. He'll take the checker flag on the Mod Light feature. Jimmy Arthur will bring his car home in second. And, of course, the third place non-finisher was Matthew Boyle. They'll head up over the scales. Make sure both of those cars meet minimum weight. Then they'll send Dustin Wiltermude to victory lane. Wiltermude going to make the hard left-hand turn into Coles County Speedway victory lane, becoming the first Mod Light feature winner here at Coles County Speedway. Great night for him starting off this season with a Mod Light feature win. Kevin Daddio.
All right, folks, you're getting up out of his car. Let's hear a big round of applause to Dustin Wiltermude, your Mod Light feature winner here at Coles County Speedway.
Thanks, sir.
Go ahead and take his picture.
A little different driving that other car, isn't it? Well, it's smaller than a late model.
Dustin's from down the road here in Windsor, Illinois. Hey, Dustin, I know there weren't a lot of you out there, but you guys always put on a good show when you come out here. At least last year it was really good. What can you tell us about your run tonight?
Actually, this is my first time in the car ever.
Is that right?
Yeah, I jumped from a crate late last year. We got my dad one, and we're getting my boy one too.
Well,
So.
cool. You're undefeated. So,
Yeah.
that's good. Bring those cars out. We'll take all the cars. You guys put on a really good show and everything. I mean, what can you tell us about these cars?
They're 1,000cc motor. It's pretty much set up like a B-Mod, 3-link. Drives like a B-Mod, but a lot smaller.
All right. Well, congratulations once again to Dustin Wildermuth from Windsor, Illinois, your Mod Light feature winner here at Coles County Speedway. Thank you. Good job. Hope to see you next time. Teddy bear.
I lost a couple boys, so that was in their casket. So they always carry with me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Coming up next is going to be the restricted micro feature, another 20-lap feature here at Coles County. As Wildermuth will make his way off the racetrack, a future winner here at Coles County Speedway in 2025 in the Mod Light class. Restrictors should be coming up on the racetrack as he gets off. Dalton Clary from Marine, Illinois, in the 22D starting on the pole. Alongside him will be Mackenzie Meany in the 10M from Terre Haute, Indiana. Starting in third will be the 71 of Jagger Wiggs from Benton, Illinois. Starting fourth will be Caden Wells from Brazil, Indiana in the 5. Niles Tudor from Harrisburg, Illinois in the 14 will round out the top 5. Mackenzie Dowler from Springfield, Illinois in the 1K will start in 6th. Starting 7th will be J.C. Stanridge in the 10 from Springfield, Illinois. Ezra Green from Brownsburg, Indiana in the 57G will start in 8th. R.J. Smith from Springfield, Illinois, 67JR will start in 9th. Riley Bonowitz to the tail end of the field was officially starting in 10th from Oakland, Illinois in the 11R. Rounding out the field will be the 11th and final starting spot will be Emerson Kisner in the 14E from Armington, Illinois. Once again, your restricted micros feature here at Coles County Speedway. One car stopped up atop of turn 1. Looks like the 5 of Caden Wells has an apparent issue with his car after he pulled it out onto the racetrack. See if track crew can help him get that car refired. This field comes back around past him. See if the outside of row 2 starter can get that car rolling. If not, tough break for him. Track crew talked it over with Caden Wells. We'll see if they give him a push or if they're going to bring the car up on the hook. Looks like this might be a case of putting the car up on the hook. Very tough break for Caden Wells. Was going to start 4th in the feature. His night will come to an end before it can even get started here in these restricted micro feature. So that will promote the outside row up 1 row. So it'll now be Mackenzie Dowler on the outside of row 2. Track crew still working on getting that number 5 up on the hook. 1 to go signal given. Pace speed is significantly brought up as Dalton Clary and Mackenzie Meany was going to bring the field up to the start cone. And green flags waving on the restricted micro feature. Down to turn 1. Mackenzie Meany under pressure for that second spot already. Underneath her will be Jagger Wiggs. Wiggs is going to hold back for second. Car up on the berm at turn 2. Will bring out the first caution of the restricted micro feature. It'll be headed back for a double file restart as we did not officially complete one lap. So RJ Smith stuck on the berm. So field already getting back double file here in this restricted micro feature. Going to have all 20 laps left to run. Track crew still working on getting RJ Smith's car off the berm. And he'll get his car refired. RJ Smith will tag back on in at the tail of the field for being the cause of caution. Well, maybe not. Car came back to a stop again on the back stretch, right in the middle, underneath our scoreboard. It's like he almost got it refired, then it died again. Maybe he's going to try to get a push. If he can. RJ Smith still stopped on the backstretch under the first caution of this restricted micro feature. Track crew trying to help him get that car refired. Looks like still not wanting to fire, or at least stay fired. Yeah, it looks like they're going to try to get the push truck to help RJ Smith get fired. Yeah, it looks like they didn't need it. Hopefully it stays fired as he rolls up to the tail end of the field. Yes, he will. Engine stays running for that 67 machine. Dalton Clary and Mackenzie Meany once again in the front row for the coming restart. With all 20 laps left to go in the restricted micro feature, we're back green. Into turn 1, they're too wide all the way through the field. Side by side, Mackenzie Meany not as good of a start this time. That'll allow Jagger Wiggs to go by for second. Niles Tudor on her inside, trying to get by as well, but Meany pinches him down to the bottom and takes that third spot back. Tudor still looking towards the inside of Meany as Jagger Wiggs right on the back bumper of Dalton Clary back into 1. Kinsey Daller right underneath the 14 of Niles Tudor as well for 4th. Single file goes the field. Couple moves being almost made as they go all the way back into turn number 1. Mackenzie Daller has Ezra Green catching on up. Caution's going to come out for that 67 JR of RJ Smith again going around at turn 2. That will be a second cause of caution of the night for RJ Smith. And with that, that'll be it for RJ Smith. Black flag out for that 67 JR. Too many incidents. So with 3 laps complete, Dalton Clary will be the leader on the first single file restart here in the restricted micro feature. Jagger Wiggs will be right behind him. Mackenzie Meany will be in third. She's a pretty good restarter here at Coles County Speedway. We'll see if she can get the advantage and try to take that second spot away right off the restart. Behind her will be Niles Tudor, Mackenzie Dowler rounding out the top 5. Emerson Kisner will be restarting in 7th. JC Stanridge 8th. Riley Bonowitz in 9th. And RJ Smith, of course, being black flagged, will head down towards the infield. Caden Wells, the only non-starter out of this race. We'll have 1 to go at the flag stand this time by. Dalton Clary, once again, going to be the leader on this restart for the restricted micro feature. That's 17 laps to go, only 3 complete. Jagger Wicks behind him, Mackenzie Meany in third. Niles Tudor, Mackenzie Dowler, the top 5. Dalton Clary will roll off of turn 2. We'll see where he decides to go up here in turns 3 and 4. He stays on the bottom of the racetrack. Going to cover off that inside as we come back to the green. And the restricted micro feature, Jagger Wiggs tried to get a good jump. Wasn't good enough. Niles Tudor already to the inside of Mackenzie Meany. Mackenzie Meany able to hold that spot for now. She'll just about hold off on that inside line. Tudor forced to back out of it. Further back behind her, Dowler holding on to her spot as well. Ezra Green had a Kinzer to his inside. But everybody holds positions for now off the restart. Now here comes Emerson Kisner looking to the inside of Ezra Green. Can't take that spot away. Out in front, back in turns 3 and 4. Dalton Clary under a ton of pressure from Jagger Wiggs as he almost got side by side with the leader into turn 1 or into turn 3. He'll do it again off here on lap number 6. He throws a big dive in. Dalton Clary clears him back around off turn 4. Riley Bonowitz goes for a spin at turn 2. No caution. But it'll be Dalton Clary still leading out in front, has led every single lap so far, looking to keep it that way. In front of the 71 of Jagger Wiggs. Riley Bonowitz got her car refired on the bottom of the racetrack. She'll rejoin the field, but it will be a blue flag right away for her. Now Dalton Clary starting to hit his marks, pulling away from Jagger Wiggs by about a tenth of a lap. Riley Bonowitz goes for a spin again out in front of the field on the exit of turn number 2. And the caution will come back out in the restricted micro feature. Third caution of the feature for the restricted micros. Tough race so far for them. 9 laps complete, just under the halfway mark in the restricted micro feature. This will give the rest of the field a good shot to try to take a chance at Jagger Wiggs and Dalton Clary out in front, as they had both pulled 2.5 away from Mackenzie Meany in third and the rest of the field. Track crew working on getting Riley Bonowitz turned around. It's over there in turn 2. Dalton Clary once again will be the leader as they come back to green on lap number 10. Jagger Wiggs in second, Mackenzie Meany third. Niles Tudor fourth, Mackenzie Dowler rounding out the top 5, as it's really been all race. Ezra Green sixth, Emerson Kisner seventh, JC Stanridge in 8th. Riley Bonowitz will be a lap down if she continues. RJ Smith out of the race on the end of lap 3. Caden Wells, the non-starter. They will, in fact, get that car fired up. She's going to try to bring her car back around. She looks like maybe something mechanically wrong with the 11R machine. Looks like she wasn't too happy about how it sounded. But she'll get her way back to the tail end of the field. She will be officially 1 lap down, I believe, maybe 2. Depends how scoring comes out. But Dalton Clary, once again, the leader on this next restart. Jagger Wiggs, Mackenzie Meany behind him inside the top 3. Dalton Clary, where does he go this time? Back to the bottom of the racetrack for restart number 3. And green flags back in the air on the restricted micro feature. Just 11 laps to go. It'll be a great restart this time for Dalton Clary. Clear by a couple of car lengths of Jagger Wiggs behind. It'll be still that at the line this time. Jagger Wiggs closed in just a little bit as they work back through turns 3 and 4, halfway this time by. We'll come back around to 9 laps to go. The lead battle still brewing out in front. Rest of the field single file out behind them. A couple car lengths between each car. Emerson Kisner took a dive underneath Ezra Green. Cannot make a move stick there, but here they come back down to turn 1. Dalton Cleary on the bottom. Jagger Wiggs trying a crossover move. He'll try the outside in turns 3 and 4. Up into the outside wall goes the 71 of Jagger Wiggs. Crossover move in turns 3 and 4. Wiggs will lead that lap. Wiggs now out in front as he clears off into turns 1 and 2. Rest of the field single file now. Cleary back to the inside in 3 and 4. Cannot make that move stick. Trying it again in turns 1 and 2. Really trying to throw that car in with 6 laps to go. Time's running out for that 22D of Dalton Cleary. Blue flag shown to the Riley Bonowitz car. She's trying to hold her line, but the leader's going to try to split her 3 wide. As Jagger Wiggs now has a lap car between himself and Dalton Cleary. Cleary going to get down to the bottom of the racetrack, getting around Bonowitz. About a second advantage now for Jagger Wiggs, back into 1 with just 4 laps to go. Rest of the field single file. Emerson Kisner finally trying to get past Ezra Green. They're throwing crossover moves after crossover moves back at each other all the way around. Ezra Green holding on to that spot for now. Jagger Wiggs coming to 2 to go this time in that 71 machine. Field still single file as they work around Riley Bonowitz. As now Mackenzie Dowler got tight on entry to turn 3. Ezra Green will take the 5th spot away. White flag in the air for Jagger Wiggs off of turn number 4. Back into turn 1 with a 1.5-second advantage for that 71 machine. Field working their way back to turn 1 as well. But checkered flags waving for the 71 of Jagger Wiggs here on the restricted micro feature. Takes the win over Dalton Cleary after a fantastic battle between the two of those final 10 laps after that final restart. Mackenzie Meany will settle for a 3rd place finish, almost 2 seconds, almost 3 seconds behind Dalton Cleary. And Niles Tudor will finish in 4th. Ezra Green stealing 5th on the last lap from Mackenzie Dowler. Emerson Kisner in 7th. J.C. Stanridge in 8th. Riley Bonowitz 9th. R.J. Smith in 10th. After only completing 3 laps, Caden Wells in 11th as the only non-finisher, or excuse me, non-starter. Wiggs over the scales, gets the thumbs up, it looks like. Waiting on the rest of the field to go by him. Wiggs might need a little bit of help getting that car refired. He will have help pulling into victory lane. That's 71M. Started 3rd, ends the race with the feature win. Here in the restricted micros feature. Jagger Wiggs, the first restricted micro feature winner in 2025 at Coles County Speedway. Kevin, you're going to be down there with him.
How you doing? All right, folks, give a big round of applause to number 71, Jagger Wiggs from Benton, Illinois, your restricted micro feature winner here at Coles County Speedway in 2025. Great race, Jagger. You kept a lot of pressure on Dalton Cleary there for several laps. You got around him a couple times, couldn't quite make it stick. With 8 to go, you got it. How'd you do it?
Yeah, I tried to slide him in 3 and 4. He got back around me. Then I ran around over the rubber in 1 and 2 and got it done.
Excellent. Never give up, right? Always keep your foot in it. Keep trying, right?
Yep.
All right.
I I'd like to thank my dad, my mom, my brother, and Dean for helping us in the shot, and Gatewood Engines.
All right, thank you very much. Congratulations once again. All right, everybody, one more time, big round of applause for Jagger Wiggs, your restricted micro feature winner at Coles County Speedway.
So another big congratulations to Jagger Wiggs, the first restricted micro feature winner of 2025 here at Coles County Speedway, who just so happens to be in town, by the way, for a basketball tournament. Yes, you heard that right. He played basketball all day today, brought the car out here to the racetrack, won the restricted micro feature, and he's going to turn around and play some more basketball tomorrow in a continuation of his basketball tournament that he is in. But he picks up a nice win tonight here at Coles County Speedway. Good start to the race season here in 2025 in the restricted micros. Coming up next is going to be the last micro feature of the night. It'll be the Cleveland Gray non-wing micros. 14 entries for the 20-lap feature. On the pole is going to be Michael Brummett in the 18 from Mount Zion, Illinois. Starting alongside him will be Drew Sherman in the 3, looking for another feature win tonight. Starting in 3rd will be Harrison Robards from Jardine-Prairie, Missouri in the 11R. Starting 4th will be Parker Butt from Greenfield, Indiana in the 51B. Starting 5th will be Daniel Hayes from Charleston, Illinois in the 211. Alongside him in 6th will be Clay Frederick from St. Joseph, Illinois in the 47. Starting 7th will be Jackson Peters in the 27 from Waupun, Wisconsin. 8th will be J.R. Hinson from DeSoto, Missouri in the 10J. Seth Buell from Charleston, Illinois in the 2X starts 9th. And Nate McMillan from Brazil, Indiana in the 56N will start in 10th. Cameron Romack from Ashmore, Illinois in the 4R starts 11th. With Zach Daller from Lomé, Illinois in the 70 starting in 12th. Reed Whitney from Jasper, Indiana starts 13th in the 87, and rounding out the field will be the 7F of Nolan Bartley from Hammond, Illinois. Once again, your Cleveland Grain non-wing micro feature. 1 to go, signal given for these non-wing micros. It's the last micro feature of the night. 20 laps to decide it. Can Drew Sherman pick up his second feature win of the night, or can somebody else stop him as they head for the start cone up at turn number 4? Michael Brummett on the inside, Drew Sherman on the outside. You have Parker Bupp, Harrison Robards behind them. Green flag, not going to be waving. Flagman didn't like the start on that one. They'll stack them back up. We'll try it again. Everybody gets nice and organized, as they'll see what they can do on a second attempt here at the initial start. Warning issue to the entirety of the front row. Parker Bupp working his way back up into his 4th place starting spot. Caution lights extinguished once again. Again, Drew Sherman looking for feature win number 2 of the night. Can anybody stop him? Can it be Michael Brummett, who's alongside him on the front row as the pole sitter? Behind them, Harrison Robards, Parker Bupp, 2 very good micro sprint drivers themselves. Here they go to the start cone for the final micro feature of the night. Green flags waving for the Cleveland Gray non-wing micro feature. Side by side to 1 goes the field. Already 3 wide in the mid-pack. Everybody trying to get organized. Cameron Romack fading back into the field on the outside groove. Not really any speed up there tonight. Drew Sherman on the point for lap number 1. Drew Sherman bicycles through turn 1. He's going to lose the lead. He's going to drop way back in the field. They're going to be 4 wide. More cars coming in, tagging some of the other cars. It would be another stack up for Harrison Robards, Parker Bupp in turns 3 and 4. And who does this leave the advantage to? Caution's going to wave at turn 2 for another incident. But the advantage will go to Daniel Hayes, who started in 5th and is now the race leader at the completion of lap number 2. That's Clay Frederick, who went for a spin up in turn 1. He collected one other car on his way through. I cannot quite tell the number from here, but I believe it appears to be the 7D of Zach Daller. That car does not look like it is going to roll very good now. Hit the right rear really solidly with the front end of the 47 of Clay Frederick. He's going to probably bring that car down to the infield, and he will. Tough break for Zach Daller. 1 to go being given to the field this time. This time the 5th place starter, Daniel Hayes, going to lead them back to green. Harrison Robards behind him. Parker Bupp 3rd. J.R. Hinson 4th. Nate McMillan 5th. The pole sitter, Michael Brummett, finds himself way back in the field. Actually, it's like I don't even think he made the start. I don't see the 18 out there. As the field will come to the restart cone. Can Daniel Hayes hold them off? He's going to get bumped all the way through turns 3 and 4. They're locked together off the initial restart. They'll get clear. They're 3 wide down to 1 for second. 3 wide further back as well. Daniel Hayes held on to that top spot into 1 and 2 for now. A couple cars tango up in front. Daniel Hayes among them. More contact as the rest of the field charges through. Cautions back out. Harrison Robards and Daniel Hayes, a lot of contact there, and finally the battle broke, and that's exactly what happens, what you see over there in turn 3. Nolan Bartley, just an innocent bystander, and that went with nowhere to go. His night is over as well. So that'll leave Parker Bupp now as the leader, started 4th. So far, a pretty messy non-wing micro race. Bartley's coming back out on the racetrack. He thinks his car might be okay. I don't think it is. That definitely right front suspension is broken. Clay Frederick also pulling it in. He's going to keep his car out there, but I would suspect race control is going to tell him not to. Race control making more changes to the field as well. 11 H of Harrison Robards and Daniel Hayes will head to the tail. They'll go and wave around the field so they can get back to the tail. So a lot of cars out in this early melee in this Cleveland Grain System non-wing micro feature. Only 2 laps complete. Still have 18 left to go. Field's going to come around to the 1 to go signal this time by Parker Bupp, going to be the leader on this restart. Behind him will be J.R. Hinson. Nate McMillan will restart in 3rd. You see both those 5 machines out behind them. Reed Whitney there as well. Actually, invert what I just said. Reed Whitney 3rd, and Nate McMillan will restart 4th. 5th will be Drew Sherman, who's worked his way back up after his lap 1 incident. We'll see if Drew Sherman can find some little pace left in that car. But Parker Bupp going to roll the field up towards the top of the racetrack, looking for the restart cone in turn 4. He's on the gas. We're back racing on the Cleveland Grain non-wing micro feature into turn 1, side by side behind the race leader as they try to work through turns 1 and 2. Bartley's car, well, not that hurt, apparently. That car is still somewhat able to keep up with the cars in front of it. Parker Bupp out in front, still 2 wide for second behind him, almost 3 wide as he headed off into turn 1. Drew Sherman up to 4th, now up to 3rd. Drew Sherman is coming in a hurry, looking for his 2nd feature win of the night. He's done it in a wing car. Can he do it in a non-wing car now? He's got 16 more laps to try to reel these front 2 back in. Parker Bupp the leader, Reed Whitney in 2nd, Drew Sherman in 3rd. Noah Bartley with a damaged front tire is in 4th. Somehow that 7F has a ton of speed. Even with that damaged suspension, he is rolling that top side of the racetrack, and he is rapidly rolling ahead of the cars behind him, not gaining anything in front of him. Parker Bupp will get passed by Reed Whitney into turns 3 and 4 that time. Whitney now going to lead that last lap, and he'll take the point now as the rest of the field rolling on through behind them. 3 wide with Harrison Robards stuck in the middle further back. Reed Whitney out in front, now starting to pull away from the cars behind. Parker Bupp in 2nd, coming under pressure from Drew Sherman with he really backed up the exit to turn 4 that time, and he's looking to do it again back on the other end of the racetrack. Now the top 4 almost coming to under a blanket now as they roll their way back into the halfway point. 10 down, 10 to go. Nolan Bartley all over the rear bumper of Drew Sherman, even though he does have a damaged suspension. Harrison Robart's car coming to a stop on the front stretch. That will probably have to be a caution. It's not in a great spot. They're going to keep it green for now. And now they will finally throw the caution, let them complete that last lap officially. And the official caution comes out on lap number 11. Reed Whitney will be the leader. This next restart, his last lap was 0.2 faster than Parker Butt behind him. But those three cars under a blanket in that battle for second running similar lap times, all in that 11.6 second range. Parker Butt will be restarting second, Drew Sherman third, Nolan Bartley fourth, Nate McMillan in fifth. Rest of the field rolls on through, sorting out their starting positions, or restarting positions, for what will be the fourth restart of the Cleveland Grain non-wing micro feature. Cameron Romack looks like he'll be scored as 6th. J.R. Henson 7th. Might be a scoring issue with the 211 because that 211's definitely finished more than 2 laps. He's out here. I'm going to call an audible thing saying he's going to be restarting in 5th. That number 211 at Daniel Hayes. I think another car having some sort of transponder issue as well, not being scored correctly. But with 9 laps to go, it'll be Reed Whitney bringing them back to green here on the Cleveland Grain non-wing micro feature. Back into turns 1 and 2 they go. 2 wide already for second, Parker Butt and Drew Sherman. Sherman throws it into turn 3 and 4. He gets alongside. He's clear by the time they get off turn number 4. Nolan Bartley with an issue, drops all the way to the tail end of the field. But here we go, coming to 7 laps to go. The 2 fastest cars of the race are 1-2. And oh no, Sherman up on the berm. He's going to lose some time here. He's got 7 more laps to try to reel him back in, but he's got Parker Butt to his inside. Butt just about catches the rear tire of Drew Sherman's car. He'll fade back, further back now. Holding on to third just about as the rest of the field charging in behind him. The 211, Daniel Hayes all over him. Cameron Romack rolling that top side pretty good as well. Nobody has anything for race leader Reed Whitney, pulling away by 0.3 a lap over Drew Sherman. We thought that car would have some more pace in it, but it looks like that car is all it has. He's not going to pick up a second feature win if it stays this way. But for now, Reed Whitney looking for his first feature win of 2025 with 3 laps to go this time for that number 5. Still a good battle going on in the mid-pack. Parker Butt, Cameron Romack, Daniel Hayes, and Nate McMillan all back there under a blanket for about the 4th spot. At the 3rd, 4th spot, right around that range. 2 to go, coming to the white flag this time will be Reed Whitney. White flag waving for that number 5 machine. Whitney back into turn 1 with a 1-second advantage over Drew Sherman. And Reed Whitney in that number 5 with no one around him. Clean air in front of him. Clean racetrack. He'll see the checkered flag first here in the non-wing micro feature. The Cleveland Grain non-wing micro feature. First one of 2025. Second place will go to Drew Sherman. Parker Butt in 3rd. Cameron Romack will finish in 4th. Daniel Hayes 5th. Nate McMillan 6th. J.R. Henson 7th. Nolan Bartley 8th. And he went to the infield at some point at the completion of 12 laps. Harrison Robards 9th after 7 laps complete. 10th will go to Clay Frederick after 2 laps complete. Zach Dowler 11th. Michael Brummett, Jackson Peters, Seth Buell, the other nod finishers. Michael Brummett, Jackson Peters, Seth Buell did not make the start of the race. So Reed Whitney headed up over the scales. Going to have to let some of these damaged cars try to work their way off the racetrack. Might be a short delay in getting them off before we can get to the midget feature. But for now, Reed Whitney into victory lane at Coles County Speedway, a feature winner in 2025 here in the Cleveland Grain non-wing micro feature. Kevin, you've got our winner.
All right, big congratulations to Reed Whitley from Jasper, Indiana. Your Cleveland Grain non-wing micro winner, feature winner here at Coles County Speedway. All right, Reed, first off, congratulations. Those restarts were a little crazy out there, I guess, early in the year and all, but you made it work for you. What can you tell me? How did you get to the front?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. Just kind of went where nobody was and tried to miss all the accidents.
Cool. Well, the car looked good out there. Just once you got through the traffic, you were gone. So, very good. So, you got anybody you want to thank or anything or say anything?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Bill and Kelsey for giving me the opportunity to run this car, U.S. Lawns, Paradise Pools, Peak Performance Gym, my mom, my dad, Aaron, and the whole Wells family. Oh, and my mom's birthday.
All right, everybody, let's give them a big round of applause again. Your Cleveland Grain non-wing micro feature winner here at Coles County Speedway, Reed Whitney.
So with Reed Whitney taking the Cleveland Grain non-wing micro feature win, that will just about do it for the micro racing tonight. Coming up here next will be the Mara Midgets feature. They'll have a 25-lap feature. They'll be coming out right after Whitney makes his way off the racetrack. And now I'll hand the microphone back over to Bill for tonight's Mara Racing action here for a 25-lap feature.
All right, thank you, Casey. Before the cars roll out here, we'll do a little bit of housekeeping. Obviously, we didn't need a Schoenfeld Headers Heat 3, but we still want to thank Schoenfeld Headers for sponsoring Heat Race number 3 if we were to have had it. And likewise, Hoosier Racing Tire supports our B-Main winner, and we did not need the B-Main tonight, but we thank Hoosier Tire just the same. Another step up from Hoosier Tire. In the drivers' meeting, it was announced that one card-carrying Racing Mara member will get randomly drawn for a free tire every night. So drivers who aren't here tonight, you got that to look forward to. If you are a due-paying member of Mara, you have a shot at a free tire every night, courtesy of Hoosier Racing Tires. Horizon Develop, Build, Manage is the sponsor of the invert draw. Fast qualifier, that would be Rod End Supply Fast Qualifier. Jay Sparks drew the invert. I'm guessing he would have liked to pick a better number, as Jace is starting in the 8th row, inside of row 8 tonight. So that is not a great draw for the Joker. Scratch that. He is starting 8th, outside of the 4th row. Still, he could have drawn a lot better on that one. Want to take some time to acknowledge the freezing fans out here. Folks, it is cold, and we thank you for your patience and hanging out with us as cold as it has been this evening. Likewise, we want to thank the folks on Badger TV and remind the folks in the stands and the folks watching on Badger that we will be back at you tomorrow night at Lincoln Speedway in Lincoln, Illinois for night 2 of the Mara season. Speaking of Lincoln Speedway, they are the sponsor of the Mara feature race each night. Looks like the cars are all out on the track, just waiting to get pushed off. We're not aware of any scratches. So it'll be all 14 cars that started tonight will be back with us right now. In the front row of tonight's race, tonight's feature, it'll be on the pole, Mark McMahill, who was also the Fusion Engineering heat winner of Heat 1. Likewise, outside of him, second starting spot will be Logan Manson out of DeSoto, Missouri, with the Horizon Carpentry Incorporated second heat win under his belt. Those two will lead the field down. And we're getting the order to push the cars off right now. Folks, you might have noticed Flagman John Shipman waving a checkered flag that was blue and white, and that's to highlight awareness of autism. John's been known to fly a couple different flags for different causes, and we appreciate him doing that. And now your starting lineup for the first feature of the 2025 season here at Coles County with the Midgets, and the first Mara feature of the season. Starting on the pole from Peoria, Illinois, number 11K, Mark McMahill. Starting on his outside from DeSoto, Missouri, number 48M, Logan Manson. Brian Peterson from Mukwonago, Wisconsin, in number 7 will be inside of row 2. On his outside, the number 05 out of Belleville, Illinois, Alex Midkiff. Starting 5th, hailing from St. Anthony, Indiana, Cody Beard in the 7B. Right next to him is 2024 Mara champion, the Blue Mounds Bullet, Parker Jones out of Blue Mounds, Wisconsin, in the number 41. Starting inside of row 4 will be the 2023 Mara champion, Dalton England from Springfield, Illinois, in the 16E. To his outside is our fast qualifier, Jace Sparks out of Crystal Lake, Illinois, in the number 40. Row 5 on the inside, number 97, Nolan Kiefer out of Jasper, Indiana, and to his outside, Jimmy Guidry out of Rockport, Indiana, in the number 21G. The teenager, Dominic Bruns, starts number 11th from Champaign, Illinois, in the 12C. And next to him is Greg Ross from Havana, Illinois, in number 99R. Tyler Roth from Springfield, Illinois, will start in the last row inside number 18. Tyler, if memory serves, was about 3rd in his heat and should have been up in the invert draw somewhere, but he came across the scale light. He said he was 12 pounds light, doesn't know what happened. He put the car away last year, didn't do a thing to it, and puts it on the scale tonight after his first heat, and he's 12 pounds under. So he's got his work cut out for him. Shotgun on the field out of Kansas City, Missouri, number 11J, Todd Jackson. And that is your starting lineup for the Midget Auto Racing Association Stars and Cars of Illinois Racing. John Shipman's giving them the 1 to go from the flag stand. And we get a traditional wave out of the Mara drivers as they pass the stands. Down the backstretch, coming to the attention of flagman John Shipman. We have a go! McHale takes early lead. There's some contact with Logan Manson and another car mid-pack. Manson's front jumped in the air, but he held on to it, kept it from going over. We will have a complete restart, subject to the direction of Director of Competition, Amy Schultz, that is. We'll see if Manson gets his spot back. And it looks like the number 99R of Greg Ross from Havana, Illinois is in the infield, and perhaps Todd Jackson from Kansas City, the 11J, did not start shotgun on the field. And the 1 to go directions come from the tower. McMahill and Manson again. Coming out of 4, we have another goal. McMahill with a big jump again. This time it went a little bit better for Manson, and he holds on to second with Brian Peterson on his inside. He and Peterson fight for that second spot. It's Manson who has it again with McMahill still in the lead. Oh. Big jumble in the middle with Peterson involved, but everyone keeps her going. McMahill's extending his lead. We got Manson in second still. Cody Beard is in third, and here comes Parker Jones in fourth. The battle now is for second with Manson holding off Beard and Jones. Jones gets Beard, and now he's got Thornton with 20 laps to go. Parker Jones is in second, setting his sights on McMahill. Beard is battling Manson for that third spot now, while Jones tries to reel in McMahill. And we've got Dominic Bruns going around in turn 2. That'll bring out the first caution. Eight laps in, I'll give you a rundown as soon as we get it. And unfortunately, Logan Manson having a good run in second, third place, I guess, by that point. He's pulled her into the infield. Not sure what happened to Dominic Bruns. Dominic had started 11th. On the restart, I believe this should be the rundown. First place, Mark McMahill. Second, Parker Jones. Fourth, Alex Midkiff. And fifth, Brian Peterson. Scratch that. We don't have Cody Beard is in there. Perhaps there's a Cody Beard apparently has his transponder off, fallen off or died or whatever. So we'll try this again. McMahill, Jones, Beard, Midkiff, Peterson, Sparks, England, Roth, Guidry, Kiefer, and refiring is Dominic Bruns. Mark McMahill brings them out of 4, and we have a green again. McMahill's got a little distance on Parker Jones on that start. Beard is losing ground in 3rd, and there's a battle for 4th between Midkiff, Peterson, and Jay Sparks. Now Dalton England's poking his nose in here for the lead. Parker Jones takes the inside on McMahill. But McMahill battles back. Coming out of 4, Jones will try it again. Neck and neck at the line. Jones is inside, and McMahill's going to battle back. And no, Jones is keeping it for the moment. McMahill inside, Jones bobbles. And they're neck and neck again at the line. Jones has the advantage out of 2 and pulls away down turn 3. Coming out of 4. Jones has about a 3-4 car length lead, and the yellow comes out for Jay Sparks, who is spun in turn 3 and 4. Don't know what happened there. Jace is sideways, facing the wrong direction. Alex Midkiff is on the infield, hopping out of his mount. At quick glance, I would put Parker Jones as the hard charger to this point, coming some 5 positions from 6th to 1st. A lot of time left. Got 12 laps to go. It's early in the season, and a lot of these drivers have no time behind the wheel. Some of the exceptions, guys who ran the Chili Bowl, include Brian Peterson and Alex Midkiff. Mark McMahill also participated in the Chili Bowl this year in January in Tulsa. Parker Jones of the Mara and Badger Midget ranks was the star as he made the A-main on his preliminary night and darn near raced his way into the A-main on Saturday. A little tangle late in the race kind of cost him, and still ended up with a good solid D-main run. And that is the same car and same engine that he raced at the Chili Bowl. 1 to go. Your leader's Parker Jones. Next is Mark McMahill. 3rd is Cody Beard. 4th place, Brian Peterson, then Dalton England, Tyler Roth, Guidry, Kiefer, Dominic Bruns, and Jay Sparks rounds out the cars running. Here comes Parker Jones to the attention of John Shipman in the flag stand. We have a go. Jones gets the jump. Beard gets under McMahill. And then you got England and Peterson fighting behind them. Jones is fixing to check out. England's doing what he can to get up there. He's now up to 4th, dispatching Peterson and working on Beard. McMahill still holding strong in 2nd, but he bobbles, and everyone near him pretty much bobbles. So we're still McMahill, Beard, and England with Parker Jones checking out. McMahill and Beard still neck and neck for 2nd place. They sort that out a little bit. Beardo. Red flag. We got a flip on the backstretch. I cannot tell who that is from here. I'm sorry, fans. Nolan Kiefer from Jasper, Indiana got over on the backstretch. We'll see if by chance our cameraman Carter caught that. Nope, doesn't look like a Kiefer was running toward the back of the pack. And we don't know the circumstances of the mishap. We're hearing that he's okay. In fact, he's still sitting in the car, but he will have to go to the ambulance, as per the mirror rules, as per what they were told in the driver's meeting. No ifs, ands, or buts. You get to visit the ambulance. Yeah, and we can see him unstrapping now. Further confirmation that he's pretty sure he's okay. And the track will go to yellow, and we're pushing off again with 8 laps to go. We can see Nolan Keither crawl out of the car. From here, the car doesn't look too worse for wear. Hopefully, he'll get her ready for tomorrow night at Lincoln. The Mara Midgets will be back at Coles County Speedway 6 more times this year. Our next meeting here will be on May 3rd. Badger Midgets back at Coles May 3rd. We'll get them lined up here again. Parker Jones to the point. Mark McMahill in second. Dalton England will start third. Brian Peterson fourth. Tyler Roth fifth, all the way from the back. He's got to be a contender for the hard charger, coming from second to last spot. Jimmy Guidry is out there in sixth spot. Dominic Bruns and Jay Sparks rounds out the field. 1 to go. 8 laps left at the line. And once again, I forgot. Cody Beard is in there. Cody Beard is in third. No transponder. Parker Jones takes the lead again. Beard's looking inside of McMahill for second. Dalton England's looking outside of Beard for third. England jumps the cushion a little bit. Kills his momentum some. He's coming around trying to get Bird again on the outside, and it's just a little too rough for him. Parker Jones starting to put a lead on McMahill. McMahill's got a little bit on Bird. And Parker Jones with about a half a straightaway lead, maybe a little bit more. McMahill's the one battling the rest of the field right now, with Beard right behind him, followed by Dalton England, Brian Peterson in fifth. Tyler Roth, a distant sixth. The battle is really for second right now with McMahill and Beard. McMahill has had no rest all night. 3 to go. 2 right now, 2 at the line. White flag, next lap. Parker Jones not really extending his lead, and Dalton England caught a rut but hung on to it. Things are kind of evening out now. We got Jones with a pretty good lead. McMahill looking for a battle. And Parker Jones comes by, takes the checker following McMahill, Beard, England, Brian Peterson, Tyler Roth, Dominic Bruns, Jay Sparks, and Jimmy Guidry round out the cars that are finishing. The Blue Mounds Bullet, Parker Jones, takes the first Mara feature of the year. Thanks to Lincoln Speedway for their support of the Mara Midgets and the feature event. And we'll throw it down to Victory Lane and see if we can get some words out of Parker Jones.
Amy's yelling, so I can't hear you. Say that again. Can I get out?
Yeah, get out.
Got it, maybe I just-
All these fans are waiting for you.
Packed house, man.
All right, everybody, let's give a big round of applause to Parker Jones from Blue Mounds, Wisconsin, your Badger Minute feature winner.
Here you go, Parker.
Test. 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 They should have.
And his microphone is not working down in Victory Lane, so I know Parker well enough that I can tell you he was really happy with the run, and he thanks his crew and his team, and he especially thanks Work Truck Stuff. He thanks Spankins Motorsports and Advanced Fastening Supply, and he'd thank a bunch of others if he were able to do it himself. And with that, I want to thank our cameraman, who is freezing out there tonight. That's Carter Bushy, and he'll be back along with myself and the rest of the Mara crew tomorrow at Lincoln Speedway. We look forward to having you in the stands, or better yet, if you can't be there, watch us on Badger TV. And with that, Bill Bloomer signing off for tonight from Coles County Speedway, where Parker Jones took the win.